Welcome inside Osceola Heritage Park, Kissimmee, Florida. So you want to be a world champion in boxing? Well, your journey starts tonight on the biggest show in ProBox TV history. And we start out with Charles Lolo Harris Jr. versus Roberto Escobar. 7 of Harris's 9 wins coming by knockout. For Roberto Escobar, it is 4 out of 6, heavy-handed on both sides. And 8 rounds in the welterweight division. Emiliano Moreno, the young undefeated fighter from Long Beach, California, puts his O on the line against Sergio Hill, the much more experienced fighter out of Argentina. In 8 rounds in the middleweight division, John Mindoro, 12 wins, all of them by knockout. His opponent, though, heavy-handed from Brazil, Lucas Abreu, looking to spoil the party tonight. The lightweight division, the return of JoJo Diaz. From the depths of addiction to the ring tonight, Abraham Montoya, no cupcake, has never been stopped in his pro career. And in our co-main event of the evening, undefeated, confident Darrelle blasts Val-Saint 11-0, 9 knockouts. His opponent, Angel Ruiz, 18-3-1 experience, said this is his opportunity tonight. And in our main event of the evening, Nicklaus Flaz, 13-2, 9 knockouts against Christian Gomez. Heavy-handed, can hurt you with the left and the right. He's looking for the knockout tonight. Welcome, everybody. Jimmy Smith alongside the champs, Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi. A lot of times when I watch a fighter fight, I write down the first word that occurs to me when I watch him. When it comes to Nicklaus Flaz, it's flow. The guy flows amazingly well, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely, man. When he finds his rhythm, finds his flow state, I mean, he's out there. It's almost like a rhythmic dance. And so much so, he's smiling and emoting the whole time. He makes it fun. You know, he's in there having a good time. And when you're watching it, it makes it that much more entertaining. Yeah,
but Gomez can hit. And when you flow, it's easy to flow into a power shot, Paulie.
You know, Flaz has 2 losses for a reason. Sometimes their flow doesn't always work out. Listen, when he's at his best, he's very, very difficult to deal with. But sometimes Flaz has those lapses in concentration. Against a guy like Gomez who's stalking you, looking for that big shot, you don't want to lose that concentration.
Now, every fighter says the same thing. I'm undefeated. I'm going to be a world champion. I'm young and I'm hungry. Darrelle blasts Val-Saint. He believes every word of it, Paulie. He believes he's going to be a world champion.
Yeah, you know, sometimes fighters, especially prospects, can be in denial. They're undefeated, but they don't realize they're being treated with kid gloves. This kid's not treated with kid gloves. At ProBox TV, strength of schedule is important, and we match our prospects tough here. Val-Saint has been going through the gauntlet, remains undefeated, also is an ex-Olympian. This kid is the goods, and we'll continue to see that rise.
Yeah, but let's talk about interviews with Angel Ruiz, his opponent. He had an edge. He said, I should be where Val-Saint is. I had tougher fights earlier. I should be the A side.
That's exactly what you want to hear from someone like that. There are no B-sides here. This is ProBox TV. You mentioned that Darrelle Val-Saint has not been handled with kid gloves. He's not tonight either. This is a big step up in his career. Angel Ruiz is coming here to win.
And I'll tell you one thing, Jimmy. Ruiz should be honored to be picked here because that means we know he can fight. Right. We don't match prospect stuff here.
Well, he's been the B-side before and come out.
The fact that Ruiz is picked here, he knows he can fight.
Gentlemen, in their co-main and main, the theme is tough, hungry, undefeated fighters versus killers who have knockout power. Is that fair?
And experience. Yes. They all have more fights, almost double in both those fights.
This is the gauntlet, man. You win on ProBox TV. There is no coincidence that why guys who win on ProBox TV end up getting that bigger recognition. You go through the gauntlet here.
Yeah, that is the deal when you start at ProBox TV, and this is the greatest card in ProBox TV history. We're getting started with Lolo Harris, Charles Harris Jr. from Omaha, Nebraska, taking on Roberto Escobar. Young guns. Harris, 21 years old, to Escobar's 24. Similar reach, similar weight. It's all about who can start fast tonight. Jim, get us going.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live, streaming on ProBox TV, your boxing channel. Download the app right now. And we are going to start this next fight, scheduled for 6 rounds in the welterweight division. Your judges for this fight, William Glover, Michelle Walker-Serrano, and David DeYoung. Referee, the third man in the ring, Michael DeJesus. Introducing to you first, he fights out of the blue corner on my right. He wears the green with gold trunks. He weighed in at 145.2 pounds. His record, 6 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, with 4 wins coming by knockout. De Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico. Give it up for Roberto El Rifle Escobar. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner on my left. He wears the black and white trunks. He weighed in at 145.4 pounds. His record, 9 wins, just 1 loss, with 7 wins coming by knockouts. From San Bernardino, California, give it up for Charles Lolo Harris. And to give instructions, your referee, Michael DeJesus.
Red, let's go. Come on, Red, let's go. Come on. Yo, wipe that some off his face. Wipe it off his face.
I got it.
All right, guys, the rules we told you in the locker room and in the corner. This is going to be anything on the low is going to be good. Anything on this is going to be good. All right, guys, touch gloves if you want to. If not, go back to your corner.
This is a don't blink kind of fight. Charles Lolo Harris, 5 of his 7 knockouts have come in the first round. Very quick starter.
Yeah, and Escobar's a guy we've had in our air before. I mean, he took
out,
a top prospect to a split decision loss.
Let's go.
Just in his last fight, which is Terrence T. Williams, who had a big win tonight earlier.
And he looked very, very good. Very technical earlier tonight.
So don't let the record fool you. Roberto Escobar can fight.
We are underway. Charles Lolo Harris Jr. in the black and white trunks. Roberto Escobar in the gold and green. And Escobar starting out aggressive.
Yeah, a stiff jab there. Harris trying to keep him off with that jab himself. That'll stop your progression. Nice uppercut there by Harris.
We've got to stop a fighter in his tracks. Harris, very, very talented. You guys talk about the fundamentals. National champion as an amateur. Knows how to stay behind the stick.
One thing you got to learn, though, in the pros, though, you know, sometimes you got to take your time to cook a guy. A guy like Escobar, the more power shots you start throwing at him, the more you piss him off, and the more he's going to bring it to you. Sometimes these guys, you need to marinate them a little bit before you start putting too much power on them. Otherwise, you find yourself in a fight where you're going to be trading.
Early and down goes Escobar.
Well, maybe Harris wants to trade. Wow. That was nice timing, catching.
Beautiful short right hand. Escobar did not see that punch.
Early knockouts? What do we say about first
You
round?
said don't blink, Jimmy. You're right.
I believe it's a catch and shoot there. That was well done.
Look at that short right hand, but right now, just under 2 minutes left in round number 1, and Harris Jr. feeling great.
Escobar got up like he didn't know where he was.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a shot.
He's 21 years old, but man, he has speed and power.
Yeah, earlier in the round, Harris landed a big uppercut, and Escobar just kept walking right through it. And he started to make you think maybe he wasn't going to respect the power. Or maybe he should have.
Good stiff jab from Harris as well. Splits the guard.
And right now, Escobar looking like Two-Face. The right side of his face, an absolute mess. Oh,
Harris just punching right through the guard, man. Beautiful right hand. Heavy, heavy punches here in round number 1 from Harris.
Just thudding shots so far from Harris.
Oh, yeah, Jim, you see the marks all over the right eye, outside that right eye of Escobar.
Yeah, and he's not as aggressive anymore.
No.
That knockdown changes tune a little bit. As it tends to do when you get dropped, right?
Escobar came out aggressively, but it has been Harris in control since that knockdown. I believe it was a short right hand, a replay at the end of the round, but man, Harris right now looking fantastic.
Tip my hat to the recuperative abilities of Escobar, man. He was really rocked. Looks like his head is clear now.
To your point, Paul, he's kept those hands real high. A lot of respect now for the power of Harris.
Yeah, but you know what? Harris also is slowed it down a little bit, starting to think, using that jab. Maybe he's going to decide he's going to start cooking Escobar a little bit and try to marinate it a little bit.
That's something experienced fighters do. They kind of let the damage sink in a little bit. Don't feel it right away. It starts hurting after a little bit.
You got to respect, though. You can see that, because Escobar's pressure is not that same. No respect pressure.
10 seconds.
Domination with speed, but an amazing first round for Lolo Harris.
Harris doing a great job of controlling the distance, maintaining range. Here we're going to see that. Oh, it was actually a 3-2. It was a left hook, right hand combination. Bang, bang, a little pull and shoot. It was a left hook, right hand combination. He pulled straight back, made Escobar reach a little, and then bang.
That was a nice counter. I thought it was a catch and shoot, but he actually rolled with the initial right hand, countered it with that left hook. and then came back with a right. Very, very nice. And that hook also put him into the path of the ensuing right hand.
Basically, it was a pull counter with 2 shots. That's impressive.
Well, we can say it a million different ways. A high-level combination from an experienced guy.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Vivo con su contragolpe.
And Escobar's wearing it on his face.
Vamos de menos a más. Vamos a ir a presionar con inteligencia, moviendo cintura, sin bajar la guardia. Vamos. Let's go.
Looking at Charles Lolo Harris Jr. The black and white seeing everything go his way as we start round number 2.
Yeah, that combination was so quick in the first round. I didn't even see the left hook. And obviously, you see the damage on the right side of the face of Escobar, so obviously that punch landed clean.
And Escobar, to your point, as you said, Chris, battle-tested. He's fought 3 times a year since his debut. Steady schedule.
Against tough fighters as well. I mean, he's been in tough. His record is a little upside down, but he can fight.
All his losses, he has gone the distance, never been stopped in his pro career.
Yeah, who knows, man? He's not used to getting hurt the way he did in round 1, right? Impressive there by Harris to do that.
The problem is, it's not as though Harris has been relying on power punches. We've seen a nice stiff jab throughout, good footwork.
Yeah, and the power is really based on a lot on timing as well. So when you got some good snap, but also well-timed.
Timing and balance. He's got excellent footwork. He's taking his time moving around the ring.
Yeah, see that beautiful timed uppercut there. That's the second time he uses that uppercut. He used it early in round 1 as well, and he countered to the jab of Escobar.
And Chris, another thing, a well-coached fighter resets. They don't go crazy. You're not going to see Harris just kind of, all right, back to the stick, back to work.
He hurt the guy, came out of nowhere, so he doesn't really have to change anything up. He was being nice and calm and relaxed and found that right hand. He's going right back to that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
A lot of fighters, they hurt somebody, and it's just power shots from there on out. Not Harris. Good job, an educated lead hand.
Love that jab. Nice and long, strong, power jab. It's hard to tell, from the viewers watching at home because you can't really see the feet, but Harris is really, really doing some nice things with his feet, making sure he's not overstepping anything offensively or defensively, maintaining position, great balance. That's why he has so much power on these shots.
Yeah, and you see how sometimes he doesn't counter, so he gets Escobar to sort of get a little bit more confident to throw, and then he sucks him into a big counter shot. If he was countering every time, Escobar would get 2 gunshots. So there's times where he doesn't counter just to keep Escobar's excitement going to want to throw more punches, and then all of a sudden he hits him with a big shot.
So far in round number 2, a lot of Escobar's punches is falling a little short, I think, because of that footwork, Chris.
Yeah, it's the range. That range control from Harris. Also the power shots, man. He's letting these hands go heavy, head and body, mixing it up really nice, showing a nice variety of punches.
Yeah. And I like also that he's leading. It's not just those counters.
Right.
I'm giving him a lot of credit with the timing and counters, but there's times where he's also leading very well, splitting the guard with the jab, using left hook, right hand combinations like you just saw there. Very nicely done.
Ooh. See the talent in this 9-1 fighter, 7 wins by knockout.
Escobar has the will. It seems like he's outskilled here. Oh, good body shot there. And
that hurt. Brought his hands down.
That hurt him.
And he get another knockdown with seconds left. We will see an end of round number 2. Don't know if we caught it on camera, gentlemen, but walking back to the corner, Roberto Escobar in second gear, walking through mud. That body shot do that to you, Chris.
I used to love sending guys back to the corner with a nice body shot. Take that with you. Take that with you back to the corner.
I'm showing my age here, but it's like if you drive stick and you're in 4th gear and you suddenly go into 3rd gear and the car slows down, it's like that. Grinding to a halt, and Lolo Harris jumping off his stool for round number 3. Already knocked down in round number 1.
You see Bo Mack in the corner of Lolo Harris. You know when Bo Mack's in the corner, you're going to see somebody blue chip, Even if you're not familiar with the fighter, you will become familiar with the fighter.
Bo Mack doesn't waste his time. He's not taking the trip down to Florida if he doesn't have some talent with him.
He definitely sees the talent in this young man, Charles Lolo Harris Jr. He is seeing everything go his way in this fight, scheduled for 6.
We've had Lolo on our air before, but man, tonight he looks ultra impressive. He's definitely been working on his craft.
I want to jinx it, but tonight's that kind of night. I mean, it's the biggest card in ProBox TV history. Expect the guys you've seen before to really show their A game tonight.
Yeah, it's a feeling in the air, man. You can feel it. It's palpable tonight. You know, these guys understand what the platform of ProBox TV is, what it's done for other fighters, and they want to be that next guy in line.
And also, when you look good here, you're being battle tested, like we said. I mean, Escobar, we've seen him before. He's not. He's been a durable test for
He's no cupcake.
And right now, Harris is making him look like he's going through him like a hot knife through butter. I mean, he is dominating him.
And doing it cool, calm, and collected, like a real professional.
Beating on him. You know, talk about Escobar's never been stopped. I mean, the way it's going, unless something drastically changes, I don't know how he's going to go the distance. You see some swelling. He's been hurt badly.
To the head and the body, down.
And Chris, you said it, I think it was round number 2. His punches even going through the gloves. It seems as though even though Escobar has his hands up, those hooks are hurting him.
Yeah, this is a very different guy in Harris than we've seen in the past. His power is really settling in. And again, I'm gonna say it's the footwork, man. He's got great balance. He's got his feet underneath him. He's no wasted steps.
If I see Escobar, maybe one thing I can see for Escobar to try. You notice Harris, when Escobar gets down a little bit, he looks for that uppercut. Maybe fake that move and then come with a big left hook, because Harris will be trying to throw the uppercut, and you may find an opening for a big left hook. But you got to guess right. Because Harris could just step back and decide, nah, he's not going to counter. Because that's the thing about Harris, like I said, sometimes he doesn't counter. Sometimes he actually lets you get comfortable throwing at him. Because this way you won't lock up. If he counters you every time, you're going to end up locking up. He actually has the presence of mind to not counter every time, so that Escobar keeps opening up. And then, at his discretion, he counters with big shots, does Harris.
And Escobar's right side, an absolute mess. Swelling getting a lot worse. No major cuts there. See that left hook, a lot of damage to his body there. And also, you talk about Bomac in the corner, and one of the myths of boxing is you can't teach punching power. Yeah, you can. You can teach someone to punch harder and better, and he clearly has been working on his power punch.
Absolutely, you can tell. You can teach a guy to settle down. You can teach a guy to get his footwork in position. You can teach a guy to get max rotation on those movements, which you just saw there with that right hand. You can certainly improve someone's punching power. Listen, knockout power is God-gifted, but you can increase it.
We're seeing that tonight. Because, man, Charles Harris Jr. looking absolutely on fire to get us started. Escobar going back to his corner. He's got to find something to change the momentum of this fight. Gentlemen, easier said than done.
Yeah, he's got to land something big, get some respect, because he's getting chewed up out there.
You see the right side of his face from all those hooks. He is messy.
Superficial damage. No bad. No, eyes not swelling up, but still.
See, it just shows you the impact, though.
Yeah.
Harris, one of those guys, every time he touches you, he leaves a mark.
And truthfully, I mean, we're sitting here at ringside, we're not feeling what he's feeling.
Yeah.
Could be more than superficial.
It's also going to look a lot worse tomorrow.
Yeah. That'll look a lot worse in a few hours.
Yeah.
Man.
That was the thing people don't realize. Like, they'd see you the next day after a fight or on Monday, and like, oh my God, what happened to you? Oh, the fight was hard, huh? I'm like, nah, a couple days later, everything swells up.
You leave the ring, you look good. A few hours later, you don't.
Yeah, you go lay down, and then your eye shuts.
You know you're not supposed to get hit at all in your life. Look at the doctors checking him out. Yep, doctors checking out the eye.
Again, looks pretty superficial. Hasn't been any complaining from Escobar as if there was deeper damage.
Also not behaving as though he can't see, not pawing at it excessively, but
he's still trying to win. He's just outclassed.
And gentlemen, what do you do at that point? This guy's just a better boxer. I mean, rough him up, make it more of an inside fight. I mean,
what? You know, if he can rough it up. I mean, honestly, you just got to punch with the guy, hope that you catch him. I don't see a big strength advantage in Escobar that he could start roughing him up because he's just going to take more damage. That's what happened in the first round. He got aggressive and they got clipped.
But you know what? You can also jab with him too. I mean, he's not trying to jab with Harris either. And at times when he jabs, he lunges in. He gets countered with the uppercut.
I was going to say Escobar doesn't have that kind of deceptive, snappy jab. He kind of pushes it out there like a battering ram.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ringside, and you can feel the snap on Harrison's jab from here. People always say, what's it like being ringside? It is, you can feel the snap a bit more than you can on television. Look at that, beautiful stuff from Harris Jr. Great combinations.
And Escobar's still trying to throw mean intentions. He's got heart.
Escobar's tough, man. He's still trying to win. You see Harris setting traps now. He's allowing Escobar to throw. He's pulling out, stepping away, looking for that perfect shot.
Harris fought a lot in Mexico and only lost in his career in 9, and one was a knockout loss in 2021 against Camilo Rojas. That was in Mexico.
Seems like ages ago when you're watching him fight now.
Yeah, different guy, 100%. Talking about that footwork. Good movements to both sides. Could be, to your point, Paulie, kind of letting Escobar get a little bit more confident.
Yeah, or he's taking a breather. You know, that's it. Would be important there for Escobar to maybe cut off the ring a little bit and put that bit of pressure there. Harris seems like he's taking the round off a little bit. And there were opportunities for Escobar to cut off the ring and maybe press him a little bit, but he sort of let Harris circle the ring as he wanted to. He's still kind of trying to do that.
And Harris
not cutting off the ring.
Harris called this his toughest fight today. He's a tough dude. Not going to be easy, and he's passed this test with flying colors.
Well, it's good to hear that Harris did his homework, because you got to look past the numbers on a guy like Escobar.
Yeah, good ring generalship this round by Harris.
Nice lateral movement, but not too much. Not taking any damage either, even taking any flack from those shots through the guard.
That's the thing now. If you're Escobar, you let Harris get his breather. You didn't press him the way you should have when he was getting his breather. Now Harris is looking to step back up again as a round.
Nice uppercut.
Love that uppercut. And a good right hand.
Once again, finishing around with power punches.
Blood from the nose, probably from that uppercut.
You always call it, Chris. That uppercut just smashes the nose every time.
And the body shot.
Man.
Ajá, toma agua. Roberto, bien vivo, mijo. Si no, vamos a parar la pelea, ¿eh? Te quiero bien inteligente.
O lo arrollas.
O la arrollas o la paramos. Porque estás recibiendo ya castigos innecesarios.
Innecesario, perfectamente.
¿Ok?
Último round, te vamos a dar. Tienes que arrollar.
¿Cómo te sientes?
Tienes que arrollarlo.
Different round, but the song remains the same, gentlemen. Great stuff from Harris Jr.
This round, a little bit of takeoff round, but then at the end, he started picking up. Came forward, slipped that jab, ripped that uppercut. Moments later, we saw blood from the nose of Escobar. The damage just adding up round after round.
Could be as we enter round number 5 of 6, gentlemen. Maybe death of 1,000 cuts. One of those where we don't see any, big cut or big knockdown. Of course, with knockdown in round number 1, but since then, it's been chopping Escobar down.
Yeah, almost like a slow cooker,
right?
Like a pressure cooker, just round after round, just controlling every aspect, hurting him to the head, to the body, doing damage, hurting the nose, face swelling, you name it. Harris is doing it.
Escobar can't question his heart, but he's done just enough to kind of stay in this fight. No real fight-stopping moments. Oh, look at that uppercut. Escobar, a replacement. Late notice in this fight, but as you said, Paulie, he's had heart, he's had will, he's wanted to fight.
And that's a kind of, first of all, it's a tough last-minute replacement if we see Escobar's history, number one. And number two, clearly Escobar's in the gym, because you're not going to take this kind of beating if you're not in shape. There's no way you can take a beating unless you're in shape. And Escobar's never been stopped. You can tell he's the kind of guy who stays in the gym. If you can take this kind of fight on last-minute notice and take the punches he's taking tonight and still keep trying to press your opponent, listen, you're in shape. You're in the gym all the time.
Also, you can see his physique. I mean, he's still ripped. Even last minute, it's impressive to be that lean and ready to make weight.
And gentlemen, if he wanted out, he would have been out in round 1.
Yeah,
I mean, we would have understood that.
Oh, that uppercut.
Also, if he wasn't in shape, he wouldn't have been able to survive this.
But has not had a tactical answer for the fighter from San Bernardino, California.
And other than the first round knockdown, which was a surprise shot, he's shown a really solid chin as Escobar, which he has in the past as well.
That counter body shot just missed his solar plexus again. That's why we heard him a few rounds ago. He was going for it again, was Harris.
Harris has landed like 2 or 3 or more of those uppercuts this round, too.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. He counters that jab of Escobar to his left with the body shot and to his right with the right uppercut. Maybe it's also a reason why Escobar doesn't always enter with the jab, right? He just tries to walk down with no jab, but that just makes Harris's life easier when you try to walk forward with no jab.
he's done this in a few rounds. He's cooked late, right? When there's about a minute left, he starts throwing power punches.
Oh, really
Harris
separates
Jr.,
himself
right?
in that last minute.
Veteran stuff, guys.
And puts on a lot of pressure, does a lot of damage.
Oh, stealing rounds fair and square. He's been ahead, but he's really putting a stamp on it at the end.
He's also tenderizing his meat. Yeah, he's taking him to the body.
Oh, another uppercut.
He's cooking, slow cooking. You take the desire out of a guy. You take the fight out, the will out of an opponent.
Escobar's not wilting though. That you can say that about him. He's got a ton of heart.
I mean, his mentally he's still there, but physically he's certainly not the same guy.
A human being, and he has taken a lot of punishment through 5 rounds. 1 more to go. And gentlemen, Charles Alolo Harris Jr. looks like he just got out of bed. The reason is his technical dominance, gentlemen, on display right here.
Yeah, you're gonna see him slip outside that jab and rip that uppercut, perfectly timed. And look, literally as Escobar dips down with the jab, he's getting hit with that uppercut. You really couldn't get hit cleaner or harder than that. So Escobar showing a pretty solid chin by taking those shots repeatedly.
Bomac has trained his charge well.
Crúzalo y luego la guardia cerradito, mijo, para que no te vaya a sorprender ahí. ¿Ok? Entonces, bien inteligente, te quiero. Es el último. Búscale la quijada.
Corner imploring him to use his defense, guard tight, fight intelligently.
I mean, at this point, you got to go kind of for broke if you're going to be here to win the fight. Otherwise, you know, at this point, Escobar is going the distance as a sort of a moral victory. He's a tough guy to stop, and he showed it tonight.
Escobar strikes me as a guy, though, who doesn't want to just get to the finish. He wants to win these fights. You know, he's been on our air a few times.
But in order to do that, he's going to have to take some serious risks against Charles Harris Jr., who at 9-1 has looked flawless tonight. Roberto Escobar in the green and gold, down in round number 1. Just hasn't found a tactical way to get back into the fight.
You see Escobar trying to counter with that left hook, trying to counter the right hands of Harris, because he's just not quick enough. Harris a bit too quick, a bit too sharp.
Harris looks like he's starting early this round.
And has done such a great job throughout, gentlemen, of staying behind that jab. It's never a naked power punch.
Jimmy, he maintains distance so well, whether it's with the jab or his footwork. He draws that line in the sand and keeps his man on the outside of the punches.
He really has a good recognition of his punch distance, you know? Doesn't get too happy with his work and smother himself or get over aggressive. Just pays attention to defense, pays attention to the subtle details. And then, like I said, he comes back. When he does attack you, he's always recognizes the proper punch distance to where he can get the max snap out of his offense.
Escobar, who has finished 4 out of 6 in his wins, hasn't found a home for his power punches at all. To your point, Chris, they're always like that. Just a little short, a little off. Never there, like Harris Jr.'s.
Also at this point, man, between the body shots, the uppercuts, we're in the last round. Escobar just looks like he's stuck in the mud. Super slow with his reactions. It's been a tough night at the office for him.
Another sharp counter, that sharp counter uppercut.
I love how each time Harris goes to the uppercut, and then he goes to the right hand right down the middle.
Oh, educated, disciplined combinations. You see Charles Harris Jr.
Well-balanced attack from Charles Harris. I mean, he goes to the body, he goes to the head. He can hit you with the straight shots. He can hit you with the loopy shots underneath with the uppercuts. Has the presence of mind to decide when is the proper time to throw each shot off. What a shot right there.
Beautiful right hand upstairs, left hook to the liver, partially blocked, but man, that's the kind of shot that goes right through your elbow.
The scary part, 21 years old. This man has years to get better. Man, as strong as his punches have been, a lot of times that man strength doesn't hit you until your mid-20s. He's looked powerful tonight.
Escobar's still trying to punch in between them. I mean, he's still giving it a go.
He's doing what he's supposed to, Paul. He's trying, but good body shot there from Escobar. Harris goes right back with a big left hook to the head and a right hand that pushes Escobar off. Oh, another good right hand.
A brilliant dance For the boxer from California, great footwork, great range, great power. Hard to find a fault in this kid tonight.
Fantastic display, top to bottom.
Nice work.
I mean, the only thing missing was the finish, but man, you gotta give that to Escobar. He's just a super tough guy.
Yeah, I like Escobar. This is the kind of opponent that Harris needed. You know, you can work on a lot of things. He's not going anywhere. He's going to keep trying. Sure, at a certain point, he was outgunned in every way, but he kept forcing Harris to have to think in there the entire time. Granted, Harris dominated the fight, so on paper, you're not going to notice the necessity of certain parts of this fight, but when you watch it, you can see that there's a lot of things that will benefit Harris in this from having gone through this experience tonight.
Look at the face. Hard to tell he was in a fight, but he was.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful, beautiful counter here in round one. Drops Escobar. It was a 3-2 off of a pull counter. Escobar didn't know what hit him. He got up looking around like, I'm fighting tonight? But Escobar showed incredible resilience, really good job at coming back from that first round knockdown, but just did not have enough juice to get and mix it up with Harris all night long, maintaining that range, using that long jab, power punches from to the head, to the body, with the left hand, with the right hand, with the uppercuts. Really didn't let Escobar build off of anything.
Well, Paul, you said it. Never admired his work. No, always going back to the stick, back to his movement. Very, very good.
Yep, and a good balance. Defense, offense, knew how to transition very, very smoothly.
Oh, we all know how it went. Jim Sorensen make it official with the scorecards inside the ProBox TV ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 exciting rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. In this case, all 3 judges, Glover, Serrano, and DeYoung, see it the same way. 60-53 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Charles Lolo Harris.
Outstanding performance, moving to 10-1 is Charles Harris Jr. Lolo had a great performance tonight. Another fighter looking for a great performance tonight, Christian Gomez. Guadalajara, Mexico, 23-4-1. 21 of those wins by knockout. Very heavy-handed. Can he make it a knockout tonight? Well, he's with a knockout. That's right, backstage, Beatriz Callis. Take it away.
Cristian Ninote Gómez. Cris, no has tenido mucha actividad en los últimos 3 años, pero ganaste tu último duelo en Guadalajara en abril de 2024. You won your last bout in April of 2024, but I want to know, what does it feel? What are your keys and your victories and your strategies to win tonight? ¿Cuáles son tus estrategias para ganar esta noche?
Pues las estrategias que hicimos en el campamento, pues cerradito y atacar fuerte. Ajá.
We're planning to go fight strength with a lot of strength, and we have a very, very, very strategized fighting camp. Tienes una técnica muy agresiva y obviamente las guerras entre Puerto Rico y México siempre han sido muy aclamadas entre los fanáticos del boxeo. The fights between Mexico and Puerto Rico have always been very popular among the boxing fans. What do you think about your opponent, and what would it mean for you to win this bout tonight? ¿Qué piensas de tu oponente y qué significaría para ti ganar este duelo y representar a tu país?
No, pues de él pienso que es un buen peleador y esperamos que vengan las mismas condiciones, como lo dije, para dar una buena pelea, y ganar esta pelea pues representa mucho para mí, porque sé que se vienen grandes oportunidades después de esta pelea.
It means a lot to me to win this fight tonight, because I know it's going to be a door opening for me to new opportunities. I have a very, very good opponent, but I'm ready to win this fight. Muchísimas gracias, and back to you.
And Long Beach, California has produced some incredible boxers. We will see one who wants to be on that list, Moreno, when we come back. Don't go anywhere on ProBox TV.
On December 7th, look for an all-out Irish war as Dylan the Real Deal Moran battles Tyrone the Mighty Kelt McKenna at the top of a stacked ProBox-worthy card.
When you look at the card tonight, our opener, Charles Lolo Harris, a guy now moving to 10-1, 7 knockouts on his career. Emiliano Moreno coming up 10-0, 5 knockouts, taking on Sergio Hill, 21-14-2. This is the separator kind of night You are undefeated, 10 fights. Are you ready for that next level? That's what we're deciding here tonight on ProBox TV. Don't go anywhere. Trying to stay neutral with this one at ProBox TV. Emiliano Moreno from my hometown, Long Beach, California. 10-0, 5 knockouts. Sergio Hill from Argentina, 21-14-2. Take a look at the tail of the tape for these fighters in the welterweight division. That's right, from Long Beach, only 19 years old is Emiliano Moreno, his opponent 33. Also Moreno having the height advantage, but the reach going to Sergio Hill from La Pampa, Argentina. Jim Sorensen right now inside the ProBox TV ring, ready to get us going.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live on ProBox TV for our next fight. This fight is scheduled for 8 rounds in the welterweight division. Your judges for this bout, Efren LeBron, Tina Griffith, and William Glover. And your referee, the third man in the ring, Mr. Frank Gentile. Introducing to you first, he fights out of the blue corner on my right. He wears the blue and white trunks. He weighed in at 147.6 pounds. He is a veteran of 37 professional fights with 13 wins by knockout. De Santa Rosa, La Pampa, Argentina. Demos la bienvenida a Sergio El Ruso Hill. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner on my left. He weighs in at 149 pounds even. He wears the green trunks. His record, 10 wins with 5 wins by knockout. He is undefeated. From Long Beach, California, give it up for Emiliano El Revolucion Moreno. And here to give instructions, referee Frank Gentile.
Okay, anything below here in the belt line, I'm calling, okay? You got your instructions in the dressing room. I remind you, stop breaking box. When I say break, step back clean, okay? Any questions? No. Any questions, touch them up. Good luck, both you guys. Good luck, brother.
4th time on ProBox TV for Emiliano Moreno. Big test against Rashield Williams back in July. Toughest fight of his career, but excellent performance for the young man. He's used to using that height and reach advantage. The reach, however, goes to his opponent tonight, and we're underway round number 1. Emiliano Moreno in the green. His opponent, Sergio Hill, in the blue and white.
Moreno's been on our air numerous times. Always an exciting fighter. Brings lots of heat, lots of pressure.
Yeah,
tons of punches.
He's kind of the definition of youth excitement, right? I mean, he goes from 1st gear to 5th gear. He does, sometimes he skips the in-betweens. Like right now he's in 1st, but a lot of times he goes from this to just whipping shots in there. Especially if he sees you can't really deal with his offense, he'll get aggressive quickly.
The guy fought 4 times last year. Always very, very busy.
And I say it every time he fights. I mean, he's huge for welterweight.
Yeah.
He's tall. You know, he's got big legs. He's filled in for a young guy.
It's nice being 19 years old. You know, you make this weight.
Sparred with Devin Haney to get ready for this fight.
Nice jab there by Gil.
Gil, savvy guy, man. Veteran of close to 40 fights. Knows his way around a boxing ring.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, you know, that are not waste energy. He's sort of a journeyman type of opponent, you know, knows his way around, knows how to go the rounds, knows how to make you think a little bit.
Problem is, after the Harris Jr. fight, do not expect a patient crowd.
Yeah,
Looks like
a tough act to follow. Point, yeah.
It's a great fight, knockdown in round number 1. It's one of those things where Moreno, if he doesn't start turning it on a bit, as we are halfway through round number 1, the crowd might start getting on him.
Like the champ said, though, Moreno goes from 0 to 100 pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why you can't really take your eyes off him either. I mean, if you've seen Moreno before, you know that he's sort of has that mentality in him.
It's a young man who can definitely unload. Has not yet done it so far. 1 minute left to go in round number 1, scheduled for 8. Four of his 5 knockouts have come in round number 1, but doesn't look like he's looking for that now.
Yeah, a little bit of feeling out here. Maybe your turn, my turn. Guys aren't really throwing with each other at all yet. Trying to get the timing down.
Keep in mind, this is an 8-rounder, so Moreno may feel that he has time. He's starting a little sleepy out here in round 1, but nothing really major landed by either guy.
There's a little sharp little counter in the hook there by Moreno.
So far fighting very, very tall. You talk about his size for the welterweight division. Towering over his opponent from Argentina, under 10 seconds left in round number 1.
Every time he punches like he doesn't want to hit you. No, so.
You're in the corner of Emiliano Moreno. Jaime Moreno, his head trainer. Palm Beach, California. You see it on the jackets there. Didn't do a whole lot in round number 1. A lot of feeling out. Sergio Hill from Argentina. Pretty much feeling out round number 1. See if it heats up in round number 2.
Very uncharacteristic first round for Moreno. A guy who normally comes out guns blazing, but I expect him to turn it on.
Already,
right on
cue. Round number 2.
Moreno, you know, those young guys, when they hit you, they always look mad.
Yeah, yeah.
They put all their emotion into it. You know, you learn a poker face later.
They just traded body shots. Emiliano landed a nice left hook to the liver, and Gil came right back with one. Good right hand from Gil.
Oh, nice combination there by Gil. Follow up that right hand with a nice combination.
That's the thing with these tricky guys with a lot of experience. Stay nice and calm. They see the openings, and they know how to take them.
Yeah, you can't kind of be lulled to sleep by a veteran like this because they sort of know how to go through the gears pretty well.
This could be a good learning experience for Moreno. Being able to figure this level of guy out. This is a step up. I mean, the guy's got 14 losses, but he's got 21 wins as well. So.
And he's crafty, man. You see how he has Moreno missing a lot. Moreno, a lot of times, if there's one deficiency he's got to correct, probably he shows his hand a little bit too much. When he wants to throw that power, sort of bites down a little bit too much and shows that he's looking to throw those hard shots. And somebody like Gil is so relaxed. You know, been there, done that. You got 14 losses. What's 15? Right?
Yeah, right.
You're just sort of in
But
there.
also, if you knock off the prospect, it's a big deal.
Exactly. So he's very relaxed. And you throw power, bro. If you're going to throw power at me, I'll see it all coming, and I'll stay right in front of you. And that's sort of what Gil's been doing here. He's been sort of staying right in front of Moreno and making him miss these shots and walking him down. And it's starting to happen more and more and more. So Moreno's going to have to start landing something to get that respect.
I like the body work from Moreno there. Picking some nice hooks between the elbows, around the elbow.
I wonder why that didn't start earlier. He always does well when he goes to the body.
Right.
We've seen him in the past. We've seen him score knockdowns with body shots and hurt guys to the body.
And he's usually very consistent, like you said, Flaz. In the opening round, he'll start ripping to the body.
Yeah, it's almost like you got to get hit to wake up to it.
Yeah. I think he got touched up a little bit early in this round. See some red marks on his face. Gil's picking his spots pretty smartly.
Yeah. Gil also was a good sense of position. You see, he doesn't give up position very easily, so he holds his ground and sort of makes it count. Not all over the place. So he puts that sort of mental pressure on you, mental stress on you. See, even when Moreno lands, there holds his ground and he fires right back.
One thing about Gil, he's one of those guys. You hit him with a shot, he comes right back with almost the same shot.
Yeah, you're not going to get rid of him.
Yeah, and that's why you don't want to let him slow it down, because then if you're going shot for shot, you can lose these rounds.
Moreno starting to look for those body shots, though. There it is again.
Yeah. Looping shots around the elbow.
In the past, those have gotten a lot of results for him.
Nice triple, quadruple 5 left hooks, 6 left hooks in a row.
Gil gave one back, though.
Yeah, he got one in the middle there. He's like, I'm not. You can get rid of with 5, not with 6, though.
You're not Roy Jones, kid.
Right.
Now you hit 7 in a row. That is it for round number 2.
Better round.
Yeah, much better round. Both guys opening up a bit. But to your point, Chris, that awkward style of Hill, it's hard to time this guy, and he throws from weird positions.
Yeah, I mean, he's a veteran. You can see it. He's very calm, cool, and collected, but he's seeing these punches come, and he's picking his spots.
And some of that action from round number 2 started heating up a bit.
And I like that he follows up here. You know, he didn't just sit on his work. You see right there, he threw that combination afterwards as well. And that sort of made Moreno realize, all right, Bill, there's about 1,000 left hooks that he throws. Finally, Gil's like, all right, let me throw one.
Yeah, and that overhand right that Gil landed, it was very early in the round. That got Moreno's attention, woke him up, which it looks like he needed that because that was a much better round for him.
Paulie, can he get a little fatigued? You talk about how he doesn't have a poker face. He tends to get emotional about his power punches. Can that also take more out of you than a veteran who stays relaxed and not emotional?
It can, but we've seen him in the past. You know,
It can when you're not 19.
Yeah. That's what I mean. We've seen him in the past. He can usually handle a pretty good pace. You know.
A 19-year-old should. As he's finished saying in round number 3 underway now.
Yeah, I mean, if he stays in the gym, he's got to go another good 10 years of being able to be like that. That runs out after 28, 29, 30.
Emiliano Moreno, 10-0, 5 wins by knockout, taking on Sergio Hill from Argentina. He's in the blue and white, Moreno in the green. Round number 1, pretty much feeling out. Neither fighter did anything. Round number 2, a little bit more action.
Here, Bomac actually from the corner. I don't think he's in the corner, Moreno, but he's coaching from the side. Bomac, who's going on 5-0 for his fighters in the past 48 hours. He had 4 guys fight last night in Virginia, in Norfolk, and now he's here on our show. Yeah, that's a big win for Harris.
He's got Crawford with the big win over Madrimov, get another world title in another weight class. He's done a lot. Bo is always in contention for a trainer of the year.
Oh, big left hook from Moreno there. Daggers Gil. Yeah, Keyshawn Davis looked like a world beater last night.
Yeah. How do you know you're a great trainer? You start running up scores. Yeah, I'm 15-0 this month. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Not many can do that. Bomac can.
And Lemos, you know, that's a guy that has made guys look bad. Yeah. Also, Lemos was attempting to make Keyshawn look bad by not making weight, you know, and
torn him apart.
Yeah, you know, very impressive.
Moreno now
and we had Harris tonight. He looked amazing. Charles Harris looked the best I've seen him look so far.
Nothing succeeds like success, gentlemen. More fighters come to you, get better sparring in there, better work. Everyone gets better. Moreno right now trying to keep his undefeated record, trying to move to 11-0, but Sergio Hill, the fighter from Argentina, much more experienced. He's had those moments to land those overhand lefts and rights.
Yeah, we see Gil coming forward, past that offense, smothers Moreno's offense, and then comes forward, but Moreno keeping that action on him.
Moreno's had a much better round 3 here. This has been a much more dominant round. Seems like he's starting to get to Gil.
Yeah, and Gil just initiated a clinch there.
Yeah.
Not very sneakily either. It was very obvious. Sometimes you gotta sneak those in a little bit better.
Not a good sign.
And Chris, you talk about those veteran guys that have been around a lot. They know how to not get hurt, right? They know how to stay in fights. Their defense tends to be very good.
Yeah. We see the hand position of Gil. Also, he's got that nice bobbing head movement up and down. But he's got great anticipation. He sees when punches come and he gets out of the way. Nice body work there from Gil.
Yeah, he was returning the favor because Moreno had just done it to him as well. Now again, Gil with a nice shot there on the inside.
Yeah, but you notice Gil's balance now. It used to be really good. He's starting to fall forward much more. The fatigue, the punches are starting to wear on him.
Still holding that position. Nice change of position there. Speaking of position by Moreno, this little pivot and sidestep, creating new openings.
Beautiful
good exchanges here. Gil still holding in front of him though.
Tócalo, ¿entiendes? No todos los ya tienen que entrar rápido y fuertes. Toca arriba, abajo, atrás de los guantes, por dentro. Lo que quiero es que se abra, güey. Que se abra para meterle los hoppers. Con un hopper lo vas a tumbar, güey.
About to begin round number 4. It was Emiliano Moreno ripping shots at the end of round number 3.
That was a good round throughout for Moreno. Started early. Gil started to come on a little bit in the middle of the round, but Moreno really poured it on at the end. And it seems like he's starting to get to Gil. We saw Gil walk back to that corner very gingerly.
Also a lot of fatigue in the corner. On your left, the fighter from Argentina in the blue and white. Emiliano Moreno from Long Beach, California on the left. In the green and orange. Now, you're a little surprised, gentlemen, with the height advantage, and he's been going to the body a lot with the jab. Hasn't really established the jab very much, despite having a nice height advantage. Now starting to go back to it.
Moreno doesn't really use his height. He doesn't really box from the outside. Right. He wants to get inside of rip combinations. He throws a lot of uppercuts and body shots, especially off that lead hand, the left hand, which he likes to double, triple, sometimes quadruple, sometimes those 5 or 6 at a time, like we saw in round 2.
Yeah. He's a very natural thinking guy, you know?
Yeah. He's not much of a long-range jabber.
I used to tell guys teaching them don't ice skate uphill. Do what you're good at. Work for your body, and a good right hand from Moreno.
Love that nice jab to the heart, and then the right hand over the top landed beautifully. Oh, nice bait there, too.
Talk about the awkward style of Hill. Moreno has a bit of an awkward style, especially for his build.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's also so start and stop. It's so, you know, just you don't know when he's going to start. Yeah.
And like I said, when he starts, he's like in 4th or 5th gear already. He doesn't work his way into it.
Good ripping punches from Moreno.
Mixing up those punches really nice. And at this speed, Gil is unable to anticipate.
He throws with really mean intentions every time. Which I think at a certain level, you got to mix it a little bit. It may cost him because again, guys can be able to see it. But you know what? I love he mixes to the body very well. So that even if you're going to stand in front of him and think you're going to time him, he starts ripping you to the body. And you can't really slip and slide with the body from that close a range.
Look at the redness around the ribs. And a tall fighter, they can work the body. It's really hard to defend.
You know? He beats you down, Moreno, and this is one of the reasons why I like when he fights on air so much, because it's entertaining. He throws lots of shots. You know, he likes to hurt his opponents. He's not a big knockout guy, obviously. He's only got 5 KOs in his 10 wins, but also, he beats you up.
You know, when you're 19, you can still develop, right? Yeah. That main strength a little bit, you know? It's not like when you're 27, you develop main strength. Then it gets fishy, you know?
Yeah.
Back to those hooks, 3 in a row, gentlemen, if you're keeping count.
Versatility with the shots.
We're starting to get into fight stoppage territory here.
Yeah, Gil's getting broken down. He's not firing back. Uppercuts.
He dipped into that uppercut. That's double impact there.
Hill, though, firing back.
Big right hand from Gil on the inside, but Moreno punches right through it.
Gil's hurt, man. His knees are starting to stiffen up a little bit.
Yeah, he's
15 seconds left to go in round number 4.
This is what I mean about Moreno, man. That 5th gear.
That's it.
Frank Gentile stops it. And Hill's looking at him, but... And I give Hill credit. Listen, he was really, really crafty. But once this kid keeps going into this 5th gear, he just works his way to it. I mean, doesn't work his way to it. He just goes from 1st to 5th, and he's going to stay in 5th as long as he wants to. And Hill was starting to be really, really stationary too much at this point.
You know, I was starting to think at the end of that round, it looks like 19 and 33.
Yeah.
It looks like a 19-year-old who just couldn't keep up with the pace, right?
And think about it, Jimmy. Early on, he's crafty. He's bending his knees. He's getting underneath the shots. If you look at that last salvo, he wasn't able to bend his knees anymore. It's just beating out of him. He can't hold the weight up anymore the same way. So you're just going to keep getting hit on.
Earlier in the fight, it was a slower pace. Gil could deal with the pace. As the fight wore on, Moreno started building and building and building a pace. He couldn't keep up.
And if you look earlier in the fight, he would have been bending underneath some of this. He was changing his levels defensively when he was in front of Moreno. By the end of the fight, he's too high up all the time, and you're not going to get out of the way of the shots. I think it was a good stoppage by Gentile, Frank Gentile, the referee.
Agreed.
And also, when you look at it, Moreno now undefeated, 11-0, 6 knockouts. You see the things that, man, if you could see him a couple things together, could get to that next level.
He's developing, man. I mean, he's 19 years old. I think there's things you're going to still work on, but the product is really, really something to look forward to keep on seeing.
Great win. He remains undefeated. Jim Sorensen, make it official for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight comes to a close at 2 minutes, 49 seconds in round number 4 for your winner by technical knockout and still undefeated Emiliano El Revolucion Moreno.
That's how you stay undefeated, gentlemen. Outstanding job getting the TKO finish. Remember, 15 seconds left to go in the round. You got to credit his opponent, Sergio Hill. Didn't go down, stayed on his feet, but I think a good stoppage by the referee. He saw the difference in class here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he argued the stoppage, but I think it was at the right time. You know, the damage is starting to have an effect, that last round and a half, really, and it just seemed like it was not able to defend himself along those ropes any longer.
And also the brutal body work, as our own Teddy Atlas says, Paul, he put water in the basement, right?
Yeah,
Starts
and
flooding.
Sure did.
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't any better for Gil.
Yeah. The action from the fight, Chris, and competitive in the beginning.
In that second round, yeah, but at the slower pace, Gil was able to compete. He was able to get underneath those shots and defend a little bit, picking his own spots, landing a nice right hand in the beginning of round 2. But after that, man, that woke Moreno up in round 2. And then he started pouring it on. Rounds 3 and 4, I mean, just non-stop, ripping both hands to the head, to the body, double, tripling up shots, that youthful exuberance, allowing him to throw multiple punch combinations. At a certain point there along the ropes, it was like 15 or 16 pretty much unanswered punches, which is why the ref finally stepped in.
And Emiliano Moreno remains undefeated, doing Long Beach proud. Excellent performance tonight. And the best place to be after a fight is, of course, ringside with us. That's right, Jimmy Smith alongside the champs, Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi, and now Emiliano Moreno joining us. Great performance, man. A little bit of slow burn there. Slow first round, and then picked it up. Was that your plan?
I'm usually a slow starter, but I am trying to work on that. I'm trying to work on being more of a fast starter, starting strong. But, yeah, my plan was to just take it slow, and I knew it would come. I knew when I saw the opportunity, I'd take him out. And, yeah, but thank you for having me here.
Yeah, no, that was a step-up fight. You know, Gil's the kind of guy. He's got a lot of experience. You can see he was crafty in there. He looked very, very calm, especially early on. Yeah. But it seemed like once you started pouring on the pressure, he couldn't keep up.
Yeah. I felt his punches, and once I felt his punches, I felt like he couldn't really do no damage to me. So I just kept walking him down, walking forward, trying to be good with my defense. But obviously, some punches slip in there. But the main goal was to land my punch, and that's what I did.
Yeah, Emiliano, you talk about you're a slow starter, but are you computing anything in those slow starts? Are you sort of trying to see the power the opponent has, or some kind of crafty style? Because it was crafty, but the thing with that I mentioned with you is you tend to go from first right into fifth gear. You don't get anything in between. Once you get going, you get going. What did you see in that first round that then made you start to just pick it up right away after that?
Just in the first round, usually I know that I'm a slow starter, so I try to focus on my defense the first round. I try to analyze where I could hit him at, where he's open, where his guard's at, because his guard was pretty tight. So I felt going on the outside and then sneaking the uppercuts from the inside would work.
You are very devastating to the body, man. I mean, once you got started to the body, things change. He was crafty at close range, but we noticed that once even at close range, the head can move, but the body shots will slow him down, and that sort of started to spell the end for him.
Yeah, once I started going to the body, I felt like in the first round or two, I was headhunted too much, and then when I went to the corner, my father told me to stay in the body, to be persistent with my jab, and to not give him any punches, to not give him any points, not give him any rounds, just take it from here on out, and I started jabbing. I went to the body more, and I think the body made a difference, and then he started staying there a little bit more, and that's when I was able to land my hard punches to the head.
Well, I got to say congratulations, man, on your 11th win, 6th knockout. Great going back to the LBC, little Supermax to celebrate. Get a little bit for me. Enjoy it, my man. Thank you so much. Congratulations, bud.
Thank you.
8 rounds in the middleweight division coming up. That is a talented young man. Can't wait to see his future. Right now, going on to the middleweight division, another talented young man. 12 wins, 12 knockouts for Weljon Mindoro, only 24 years old. Will youth reign tonight? Jim, get us started.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again in the ring, we have an 8-round fight, this time in the middleweight division. Your judges for this fight, Michelle Walker Serrano, David DeYoung, and Efren LeBron. And your referee, the third man in the ring, is Luis Pabon. Introducing to you first, he fights out of the blue corner. He wears the black with white trunks. He weighed in at 162.4 pounds. His record, 14 wins, 5 losses with 11 wins by knockout. From Sao Paulo, Brazil, give it up for Lucas Il Fatto Bene Martins. And his opponent, who fights out of the red corner, he wears the brown and gold trunks. He weighed in at 163.2 pounds. He is undefeated. His record, a perfect one. 12 wins, 1 draw with 12 wins by knockout. From Dumignon, Zamboanga del Sur, Philippines, give it up for Well-John Triggerman Mindoro. And with the instructions, Luis Pabon.
Okay, guys, I give you instruction in the dressing room. We're having a team match, okay? Good luck. Le digo instrucciones en el camerino. Vamos a una pelea limpia. Aquí es bueno, okay? Good luck.
One of the things you learn in the fight world is how to deal with power. Lucas de Abreu from Sao Paulo, Brazil, has to deal with power tonight from Well-John Mindoro. This man can hit, and he can knock it out early. Round number 1 underway. Mindoro, the fighter from the Philippines, in the brown trunks. De Abreu from Brazil in the black and white.
Well, De Abreu, he's been in with Diego Pacheco. Yeah, incredible puncher. He went rounds with him. Got stopped in the last round. I called that fight. It's kind of an early stoppage too. So you know, normally he does take punches pretty well, even from big punchers.
He's crafty. He's knows his way around the ring a little bit. He's been in with some good fighters.
Pacheco, he's been with
even in with Val-Saint, we'll see later tonight.
Yeah, been with Val-Saint.
Lester Martinez,
exactly. All 3 are big punchers.
And it's funny, Chris, you and I were talking about this off-air. Mindoro kind of reminds us of Lester Martinez. Stocky, thick, not super versatile. His footwork doesn't really, wow you or anything like that, but hands up, good position, and he's built like a you-know-what house he can hit.
Yeah, a little more explosive in terms of his, start and stop, but he, very, very similar in terms of his style. He puts a lot of pressure on you. He's looking to bang you, beat you up, and we're seeing that here in round number 1.
Something, Paulie, you always point out with fighters like Mindoro is he's kind of over his legs. He's always ready to hit you with power.
Yeah, he's sort of a seek and destroy, but the one time he did go to distance, he didn't win. He got a draw out of it. So he's a big puncher, but sometimes he can be lured into making those mistakes because he's too trigger happy in terms of looking for just the power. And you can see that. He's very, very excited here in round 1. He's not a feel out the round kind of guy. He comes out shooting big shots. And De Abreu is crafty. De Abreu can kind of work his way through this. Maybe this thing can turn weird for him.
De Abreu he landed a good right hand over the top. He just landed another slapping left hook. He's not having trouble finding Mindoro earlier in round 1.
Yeah, De Abreu had a long amateur career, man. You can look at his record and he's sort of become a bit of a journeyman as a pro, but this kid had overall 120 amateur fights at a good level in Brazil.
Another fight from Ireland, Dylan Moran versus Tyrone McKenna. Our first visit, we're in Belfast, had a fantastic time. December 7th, don't miss it on ProBox TV.
De Abreu landed another really good chopping right hand that Mindoro ran right into. There's a lot of opportunities here for De Abreu to use that length and reach and amateur pedigree, like you said, Champ, to find holes in Mindoro, because there's a lot of them.
Well, last time out against Tyler Goodjohn, he ate some punches in that fight. He's a tough dude, British guy, pretty basic with his style, but Goodjohn hit him with some good shots.
Yeah, Mindoro, you see, he's so offensive-minded. He's not really worried about what's coming back at him. Kind of runs through the shots.
Which makes him fun, but also makes him very, very susceptible in some ways.
And vulnerable.
Vulnerable, exactly. Better word, vulnerable.
Getting a wide with his punches here against the ropes in round number 1.
Oh, good shot there on the inside.
Trying to unload as round number 1 draws to a close.
Mindoro's rough.
Fighter from Brazil still in it.
¿Cómo te sientes? ¿Cómo te sientes?
2 jabs, step to him, zoom, zoom, zoom. Then you let him go.
Welcome to the
Get
corner
him
of
behind the jab.
Mindoro.
Don't step to him and stop squaring up.
From the Philippines.
All right.
Knockout puncher, 12 wins, all knockouts, but, you know, you saw some vulnerabilities in round number 1. Abreu from Brazil didn't come here to lose.
You see, he tries that overhand right there, but he comes up a little bit too sloppy. You know, Mindoro, he's got the guns there in terms of, you know, the dangerous punching power, but sometimes tries a little bit too hard and gets a little bit too sloppy. He had a good, well-timed overhand right over the top of the jab there, but he missed it himself because he was a little bit wide on it.
He leads with his face. His face gets there before his hands do sometimes, and there's a lot of opportunities for Abreu to take advantage of that from fighting at a distance.
Smith alongside Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi. Mindoro is going wild with some power shots.
Yeah, but he's smothering a lot of his work here. And honestly, Abreu is going backwards. He should go forward into Mindoro and smother him and sort of bump him.
And even though, you know, that didn't look great for Abreu, he did not get hit much.
No, he didn't get hit much, but going backwards, you know, you can sort of, you got to stop the momentum, I feel like, when you got a guy, you could bump him off a little bit.
Also, loopy shots going backwards, you could hit at the apex of the punch, more damage.
One of the difficulties in combat sports, especially in boxing, Paulie, people get addicted to power. There's nothing more addictive than knocking a guy out, and people who have that God-given power tend to over-rely on it. Is that the problem with Mindoro?
Well, yeah,
when he does. Yeah.
A little bit. You know, we just finished the Manny Pacquiao generation for the Filipinos, you know, so that was a very explosive fighter, a guy who sort of flew in. Sometimes, you know, speaking of head clashes, and guys were flying with their head. Sometimes it was Pacquiao who was actually, you know, a victim of some head clashes in some fights, or he may have caused them, or he may have run into them himself, or whatnot. But that's the thing with Mindoro. I think Mindoro also flies in looking for the power. A lot of fighters from the Philippines right now. Once you have a great fighter, just finished his era. Copy him. Chris, uppercut there by Mindoro.
Chris, you know something about that, right? You've heard of that guy.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao, two-fisted destroyer, comes at you at a million miles an hour. You can't find a single Filipino fighter who doesn't want to be like Manny Pacquiao. So yes, I agree, champ. You see a lot of guys mimicking that style, but there's only one Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, but when they try to copy him, it's still exciting.
Yeah. I'm certainly excited.
Wading into a lot of punches here. Abreu
Mindoro's not subtle either. Just
no, he's not.
Big breath in, takes a walk.
They made him attacking too much. Let me take a step back. And there he goes again, right back on the attack.
Footwork, man. He's always, like you said, he's always over his feet, Jimmy. Yep. Getting over those skis quite a bit. Good right hand throws Abreu back into the ropes.
Oh, nice combination from Abreu.
Mindoro got mad. He shook his head. Yeah.
Looks like Abreu found a little home for that. He's doing a double left hand where goes left uppercut, left hook off that lead hand.
Ooh, for some reason I hear Teddy Atlas saying, close your eyes and hit the guy.
Oh, big shot.
Big right hand, and down goes Abreu. 20 seconds left to go in the round.
Abreu's smart about taking these. It's not the first time I've seen him. When he gets hit, he gets hurt. He knows how to sort of...
And then he speaks to the ref immediately. Very, very smart.
Oh, a couple extra seconds. Mindoro trying to swarm another knockdown.
You get watch over those hits while he's down.
And he's speaking to the referee again. He's letting him know he's okay. He's going to get out of the round. I think the round's almost over here.
Looks to be saved by the bell in round number 2. Finally, that reckless aggression paying off, found his range, Chris.
Yeah, I believe the first one was a big right hand there. Yeah, puts him right down.
You can't get hit with that, man. No. He loaded that one up.
Well, Champ, is that what you were saying, going straight back?
Yeah, Abreu should have seen it coming, man. And again, yeah, going straight back, again, that's where you get a low and just bump the guy off. Here is just a, remaining being hurt from the first one. I don't know if anything big landed here.
And Champ, you know about this. There's two kinds of hurt. There's hurt where your brain is scrambled. The cognitive, you're not really sure where you are. Sometimes your brain is completely fine, just your body's not working anymore. Yeah. That looked like Abreu's brain was fine, but his body wasn't responding.
Yeah, because he was hurt. He was talking to the referee. Pero mira, he's communicating in the corner.
Con calma, ya, experiencia. Él va a venir con todo. Mídalo.
Tell him to get calm. Don't get too excited. He's got the experience, and let him know you got your experience. Let's see if he falls back on that experience here in this round.
It's hard to do when you got a guy like Mindoro flying at you with 2 fists and a headbutt.
And looking to step in and use power again. Is Mindoro trying to make it 13 knockouts and 13 wins.
Oh, big shot there on the inside.
Right hand Wow! What a blast from the Filipino fighter in round number 3. Just got started.
My goodness.
That was a big shot. And again, Chandler, we were saying he's going straight back. You know, and not only that, he's going straight back, squared up. You know, at least angle your body off, blade yourself off a little bit. You know, with the point of your shoulder. If you're going to go backwards like that, he was allowing Mindoro to push him straight back, and then he was too squared up. So you're in position to get hit with all those shots. You're going straight back and you're up high. I mean,
Abreu's rock still. Yeah. He's out of it. Really out of it.
He hit his head on the canvas hard too, guys.
That snap is always bad, and this is what caused it, gentlemen.
The temple shot. Big overhand right, takes the legs, falls almost into a crouch, and he's going to beat himself up, but then loses his balance, falls back, head hits the canvas very hard. We can hear it ringside. That's a scary knockout.
Able to get back to his feet, by the way, in his corner, was sat down by the attending physician. Sit down, don't stand up again. Being attended to right now. He is awake. The important part, scary looking knockout.
Well, that's why they call him the trigger man. Pulled that trigger with the bazooka.
Mindoro, he's got to tighten it up a little bit in his style, but however far he's going to go, he's going to be fun to watch because he puts it all on the line there. He throws everything out there. Doesn't mind what's coming back. As he raises levels, he better start to mind, or he can get hurt himself. But nonetheless, he has that sort of fighting spirit, super physical. However far he's going to go, if he doesn't tighten it up, he's not going to go too much further. But if he tightens it up, however far he's going to go, regardless, he'll be fun to watch.
And another thing too, gentlemen. Would you pay money to see him?
Hell yeah.
Yes, he's entertaining every time, right?
Do I want him back on ProBox? Absolutely.
Yes, I do.
Bring him back every time.
Yep. Absolutely.
And Abreu back on his feet. Good to see that.
I want to see him against a guy who's physically rugged. Maybe not. You're not going to find guys who are as big a punchers as him often, but maybe somebody physically rugged, like a Mexican-style rugged guy who he can't just bully.
And another thing you guys like to say, oh, this guy's not a knockout puncher, but he's strong. Maybe a physical guy who could take that shot. Jim Sorensen in the ring, making it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest comes to a close at 22 seconds in round number 3 for your winner by knockout and still undefeated John Triggerman Mindoro.
Make that 13 for 13. 13 wins, all of them by knockout. Only blemish on his record is a draw. By the way, it's a Takeshi Inoue. Right, so not exactly a scrub. Exactly. Got a draw there. And Paulie,
12 rounds. 12 rounds.
12 rounds, yeah. Unbelievable, and this is how it happened. Power punches from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, Mindoro was just putting on so much physical pressure, walking through a lot of shots. Listen, Abreu, we mentioned, had a good amateur background. He's been in with some really top-flight pros and, so far in his career. Was landing some good counter shots on the outside when he had distance, but as he went straight back, he was getting cracked with big shots from Mindoro, and it was just, there was 2 knockdowns there in the second, and then finished him in the third.
And if you notice, he's always going straight back when he gets hit right there again. He's going straight back. He never stepped into Mindoro when Mindoro was coming.
And those loopy shots,
scary knockout.
When you move away from them, they hit you harder, and we saw that in that last sequence.
Either be too close or too far, and unfortunately, Abreu was neither. He was right in that sweet spot. Now, when it comes to picking some fights, as we say with J-Rod, the worse the jacket, the better the pick. Now, I have not seen this one. I don't know how bad the jacket is, so I don't know how good the picks are going to be. But, J-Rod is going to have the picks for the co-main and main event, which are yet to come tonight. Flaz, Val-Saint, what does J-Rod think, and how bad is his jacket? Let's find out now.
It's JoJo Diaz back in the ring, taking on Abraham Montoya over at sportsbetting.ag. you know, it's pretty close numbers, right? You've got the favorite of JoJo minus 215, while Montoya is a live dog at plus 175. Both guys last fought in April, so there isn't so much ring rust, but we know JoJo's story. You've seen it right here on ProBox TV. Fighting addiction, getting back in the ring, while Montoya, he is just also one of those heavy-hitting warriors. I wonder how much is in the tank, and I like under 8.5 rounds. You're going to have to shop around and find that, but hey, you can get that better than 2-1. I'm Jim Rodriguez. Big weekend of fights. Sit down and you can watch all of them. A big night from Kissimmee, Florida. It is going to be Nicklaus Flaz against Christian Gomez, a huge card starting at 6 p.m. Eastern on the ProBox TV app and the YouTube channel. I'm Jim Rodriguez. Look at this jacket. I think I'm ready for the weekend. Are you? Of course, on the better side.
In a divided America, the one thing we can agree on is that jacket was god-awful, gentlemen. Yeah,
real bad.
Real bad.
That means we're good, right?
That means the pick is going to be absolutely outstanding.
Get your wallets out.
Get your wallets out right now and pick whatever J-Rod says with that awful jacket. But all joking aside, the fact that JoJo Diaz is coming back, not only a name that so many boxing fans know, the insiders know about his talent, but what we know is a man coming back from the throes of addiction, getting his life back on track. That is the story of this fight, and in that sense, he's already won, gentlemen.
Yeah, he's already won. He's getting back to his ring. I mean, he's been busy this year, but I mean, this means so much to him to get over what he's been through, but also to get back into the ring and back into winning ways and look to fight for another world title.
That he's been fighting, but tonight, he's fighting clean.
Yeah, he's fighting clean, and also, you know, he's not exactly in a gimme either. You know, Montoya is a pretty rough character himself. But JoJo, like we've been saying, it's not like he was out of the ring. He's still been trying to march his way back forward. And now it's sort of, you know, conquering two things at once. You know, you're trying to conquer the fact that you get yourself back into the top of the sport again, and also you're conquering those inner demons. So something that well worth following.
Yeah, we talk about the fight itself. We also talk about the moment. The thing here is there is a gigantic moment right now for JoJo Diaz. He's about to make his way to the ring, not just in boxing, but in life. It's all about the fight. It's all about the struggle. JoJo Diaz in for a big one tonight.
I ended up winning the world title back in 2020 against Tevin Farmer at 130 pounds. And then that right there, that's when it was really, you know, I would say my downfall. I have 2 kids. His name's Zenith Diaz. He's 3 years old that I ended up losing custody to back in 2022. I lost custody with him right when he was born at 7 months. Fought all the way. After the Devin Haney fight, I ended up winning 50-50 custody, but at the time I was still caught up in the alcohol use. I learned, you know, getting my childhood taken away from me, losing my house, losing my cars, not making the money that I used to make because I was missing weight. I was being unprofessional because I was so caught up in drinking and drugs and not putting my career first and not putting my health first. And I ended up losing my custody back in 2022. And now I'm trying to do things right for him, man. I want to show him that I'm strong and that I love him with all my heart and I'm doing things for him. And I got a baby girl now as well. Her name's Rosalie Diaz. That is such a joy to my heart. That brings me joy and brings me happiness. I definitely want to get back into the ring and back into, you know, top competition, man. I want to fight the best in the world. I want to fight for world titles. I want to become a world champion again.
He wants to be a world champion. That road starts tonight. He has looked lean, hungry, and when you talk about this fight, he talks about redemption. He talks about being mentally, physically, and spiritually ready. Coming up next, his opportunity to prove it in the ring.
ProBox TV Contender Series. On December 7th, look for an all-out Irish war as Dylan the Real Deal Moran battles Tyrone the Mighty Kelp McKenna at the top of a stacked ProBox-worthy card.
We're getting ready for JoJo Diaz to make his triumphant return to the ring. As you gentlemen said, he's been busy. Not that he's been inactive. It's that he's overcome the addictions that have plagued him in previous fights. A couple ways to see that. Number one, you could say, does he have the desire? Is he who he used to be? Also, he was fighting before, while drinking, while using, and still those were not blowouts. You could see those flashes of greatness. Can he string it all together tonight? That is the question for JoJo Diaz. We answer it on the other side of this break. There is JoJo Diaz. Proud Mexican-American warrior. Mexican flag behind him tonight. Gentlemen, he doesn't talk about technique. He doesn't talk about angles and punches and combinations. He talks about his spiritual journey and where he is physically tonight. Is that key, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, well, you got to put it all together. I mean, this is boxing. This is a very difficult and nuanced sport. JoJo Diaz has been to the highest highs. He's a two-division, two-time world champion. But this might be the toughest fight of his life.
And also, Paulie, he's on ProBox. Our boss, Gary Jones, talked about it. He said, when he called me, I said, hey, you're not going to get a cupcake here. You're going to get a tough fight. Yeah. You have to train. You have to be ready. His opponent never been stopped. Rugged, as tough as a $2 steak. That is not easy tonight.
Yeah, and JoJo has not been the hugest puncher. But he's also, speaking of Olympians and whatnot, he's an ex-Olympian as well. So he's got the boxing style, obviously an ex-world champion. So the resume stands up. It's just he's not going to be the biggest puncher. And this guy is a durable guy.
Also a couple weight classes up from where he was his best.
Yeah, very, very true. Can JoJo Diaz put it together? Not old in terms of age, only 31 years old. No real height difference, weighed in about the same. A slight reach advantage for Abraham Montoya. Let's face it, gentlemen, the keys to this fight are not in the tail of the tape. They're inside the mind of JoJo Diaz. Is he ready? That is the question. Look at the sports betting odds. JoJo Diaz, about a 2-to-1 favorite over Abraham Montoya, but anyone who knows boxing knows that Montoya, a very live dog. Let's get it started.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the Osceola Heritage Park Event Center with our next fight, the first 10-rounder of the evening. And this one is in the lightweight division. Your judges for this fight, Tina Griffith, William Glover, and Michelle Walker Serrano. And your referee, Michael DeJesus. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black and silver trunks. He weighed in at 136.4 pounds. His record, 22 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw with 14 wins by knockout. De Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico, demos la bienvenida a Abraham Philly Montoya Jr. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He wears the green camouflage trunks. He weighed in at 137.6 pounds. His record, 33 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw with 15 wins by knockout. He is a former 2012 Olympian. He is the former IBF champion of the world. From South El Monte, California, give it up for Joseph JoJo Diaz. Here to give instructions, referee Michael DeJesus.
All right, guys, the rules were told to you in the locker room and in the corner. Just let you know, anything below this will be low. Anything below this will be low. Touch gloves if you want to. If not, go back to the corner.
Ready to begin round number 1. We have a special guest, junior unit undefeated super middleweight. Thank you so much for joining us, my man.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. It's the return of JoJo Diaz. You all know the heights to which this man ascended, former super featherweight world champion. We're underway in round number 1.
See JoJo Diaz, the southpaw, fighting in that southpaw position. Montoya, orthodox fighter, although he doesn't move very orthodox. He fights very tall, very awkward, but physically strong and tough.
And Diaz in the green camouflage, Montoya in the black and silver. Talk about it all the time, Paulie. The physical pressure, Montoya already starting to bring that.
Yeah, and he's physically look like he's put on some good weight between the weigh-in and the fight, because he looks like the bigger of the two guys here, even though JoJo weighed in a little heavier than did Montoya yesterday at the weigh-in. Good body shot there by Montoya, return fire there by JoJo.
I've called about 3 or 4 of Montoya's fights in the past, usually against undefeated prospects on the way up, and even some middle contenders as well. He's the kind of guy, he comes forward with a lot of pressure. He's not fast, he's got heavy hands, he's physical, and he builds as the fight wears on.
This gives you the aura of like a real Mexican war.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, Junior, with the time off, what do you want to see out of Diaz early in the first couple rounds? Like, he got some, I don't want to say ring rust, but this is the first time, like, he's clean all the way. What do you want to see in round number 1?
I want to see him act like he wants to be here. You know, this
absolutely.
is a big opportunity for him to just get back into the limelight, and should be interesting to see how this fight plays out.
That's a good point what Junior makes, because a lot of times when you've been there already and you sort of fall off a little bit, you work your way back in, but are you working your way back in for the passion of the sport, or are there other reasons that you're doing it? Obviously, we know JoJo has been working hard to get clean. Is this just a bonus, an added bonus, or is he also very hungry to be back at the top of the sport?
Well, it's one of those, you know, Jimmy, you always say this, happy to be there. You know, is he happy to be here after beating addiction and doesn't really, you know, have his heart in the fight itself, and the fight's already won in his mind? Because he's got a guy in front of him that he doesn't care what JoJo's going through. He's bringing it.
This guy's like floating.
Yeah, he's a very awkward. That's why I said he's an orthodox business, you know, footing, but he doesn't fight orthodox at all.
It looks like he aims his punches when he throws them.
It gives you a Navarrete feel.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
JoJo Diaz has found a home for a couple of those counter lefts over the top.
Even like remember Carlos Mausa?
Yeah.
Not as much. Mausa was off the chain, but
Mausa, I always said, looked like a rubber band.
Yeah.
Like it just like everything was
This
just.
guy has a little bit defensively. Mausa was like Gumby, but this guy, the way he throws his punches. I mean, we'll see how JoJo's.
Yeah, but he's got heavy hands, this guy too. I've seen him thud on people before.
So random.
I don't like the way JoJo's pulling back. I think he needs to, you know, push him back and go to the body a little bit more.
Yeah, JoJo went to the body pretty well in spots in this round. He's got the consistency he's got to stay with, I think, that we're really looking for here.
Got that lefty shuttle punch.
Right hand
nice.
by Montoya at the belt.
Another one.
Yeah, this is. It's gonna heat up.
Hay que aprovechar offline, man. And get offline.
About to start round number 2. We are ringside. Jimmy Smith alongside the champs, Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi, also Junior Unit, super middleweight, undefeated. What got answered to you, Junior? Do you see that passion in round number 1 or not from JoJo?
I think he's gonna have to find the timing of
Montoya.
This is gonna be a rough one. This is not you know, an easy fight.
And this is one of those fights where, again, you find out how bad you really want to be back at the top. You know, this is no cupcake. It's not a lot of reward for beating Montoya, as he's not a well-known fighter, so it's hard to get up for a guy like this if it's going to be super tough. So you got to have it within you. Do you have that inner passion? We may find out some answers tonight about JoJo.
This is a replacement for Nicklaus Walter. So JoJo wasn't expecting an easy fight. Him and I spoke about Montoya even before this fight was made. He goes, oh, that's a tough guy. So he knows what he had in front of him. And you know, props to JoJo Diaz for coming back off of his layoff, looking to have a tough fight.
Oh, good combination there by Diaz.
Start round number 2. JoJo Diaz coming back clean in the green and camouflage. Yeah, good one against Abraham Montoya, who's in the black and silver. And Chris, you say it all the time behind the scenes. You're like, that's a hard guy to look good against. Montoya's one of those guys that's awkward, weird timing, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, he walks through shots like that. He's almost like a Frankenstein. He comes forward, he gets hit with a big shot, but then he comes with his own heavy hands. Never been stopped.
JoJo's putting together some snappy shots here this round. He's got to keep it consistent, though, because Montoya will jump right back on you.
Yeah, I think JoJo needs to, you know, put something in the middle to offset him, you know, some feints, a little bit of movement.
Yeah, that's something we're not seeing from JoJo, right? No feints,
good body
shots, though.
Definitely some feinting would be good here because Montoya's the kind of guy who's really hard to anticipate his movements because I don't think he knows what he's doing next.
Yeah, so you bring them out of him by feinting them a little bit, right?
For sure.
Some of that tricky veteran savvy from JoJo Diaz, something we'd love to see. You pointed out, Paulie, former Olympian, also former world champion. Just a ton of big fight experience.
Oh, Montoya just gives you that feel that he has a really heavy hand.
Yep. He's a thudding puncher.
Yeah.
He's landed a few right hands here on the inside against JoJo this fight.
JoJo's consistent to the body, though.
I called Montoya versus Gabriel Flores. He gave Gabriel was at that point was undefeated. He gave him hell that night. Also, Mark Castro was another fighter that he fought, another undefeated prospect coming up.
If you find yourself thinking in a fight, get off me, it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And Montoya's kind of that get off me kind of guy. He's always pushing, he's always right in your face. Doesn't give you a lot of space.
Especially a guy like JoJo Diaz, who's been to the highest highs, where you got a guy like this, he's hard to read. He's not doing the things that a normal championship fighter does.
Something, Paul, you talk about all the time. Like when you're a great amateur and high-level professional, you're used to clean lines. And guys who don't throw clean lines, they can take you by surprise.
Yeah, especially if they're consistent. You know, and there's Montoya. He's consistent with that pressure, clash of heads there as well. That's not going to tickle either. Montoya coming in with his head a little bit more, man. You gotta be careful. That lefty versus righty.
Closing seconds of round number 2. Montoya once again bringing that slow building pressure. JoJo Diaz from the southpaw stance hasn't found a way to get relief yet.
There's that counter right hand there from Montoya. JoJo's got to be careful pulling out.
Lefty, righty.
And Montoya's not fast, but he had good timing on that shot.
He's all balanced almost every shot. Yeah. Papa catch it, Papa whoop. And then you leave. So I'm trying to find that rhythm. Okay. Yeah. Work your feints then. Okay. Whatever you catch here, touch him. You have notable home runs. Yeah, just catch the counter. Just keep touching, keep touching. You're gonna find the big shot. Okay. Open.
If you watch his neck, you stop him. Go to the middle, go. You're breaking him down, all right?
Small steps, boom, boom, boom. Use your hands for defense. Jab, straight left heel, straight left to the body.
Junior, a lot of the stuff you were talking about right there in the corner.
Great advice from his coach. And he feels like he's breaking him down, you know, so.
But that's the thing. He's asking you to break him down. You got to be feeling it yourself. Some of that you got to feel yourself because you're in there with the guy. You got to sort of feel it. Is he breaking down? Is Montoya losing the enthuzuasm when I'm doing what I'm doing?
I think with a guy like Montoya, he has such a good poker face, even if you do, you know.
Yeah.
That was so weird. What's he going to do? Start throwing normal?
Yeah.
He's going to slow down more? Yeah. Like his corner already said, it's just slow and awkward.
Yeah.
JoJo's trying to make it more physical here this round. He's putting hands on.
I like that idea. I like that idea to make it more physical, make it more rough on the rough guy. You know.
Yep. Going to the body.
So JoJo at his best is a rough guy. You know, he's a rough, scrappy dude. So he's got to bring some of that back.
I like the hand positioning now. Montoya's counter right hands on the inside. He was catching them there, and JoJo had the hand positioning to be able to fire right back, and now he's backing up Montoya. Montoya's going to keep on throwing, but the hand positioning on the inside is going to be important here for JoJo.
JoJo made a decision this round. He's fighting very, very different here.
Yeah, I'm going to be the boss in this round. It looks like he's
body shot,
bringing some pressure himself.
Showing his class.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also out of El Monte, you know, if you're from California, Chris and I, you and I talked about it. If you see a guy fought in La Habra, places like La Puente, California, El Monte, you went through some wars, not just in the gym, but in your early fights. And that was definitely JoJo Diaz.
Everybody can fight over there.
Everybody.
Good combinations there by Montoya to the body as well. Now JoJo's backing up a little bit. But yeah, going back to those California, I remember when I was in the amateurs, man, anytime guys work in California, they were always a nightmare, a headache.
Yep, Region 8.
Yep.
The guy serving your In-N-Out burger
can scrap, dude, yeah.
This has 300 amateur fights.
I think JoJo found his rhythm a little bit more this round.
Oh,
nice step-in shot from JoJo Diaz.
He's losing his hand positioning a little bit as the round progresses. He's got to make sure he holds on to that hand positioning the way he started the round. I thought he was transitioning very well from defense to offense and offense to defense with that hand positioning early in the round. If he stays and keeps that in mind, he's going to be able to beat Montoya to the punch because Montoya's punches are a bit wider, a bit more fat on those punches.
I was curious how JoJo was going to deal with the pressure because I knew Montoya was going to bring it like this. He looks pretty calm thus far, and I think that's a really good sign.
You know, I think when you go through certain things in life, I think, you know, you deal with the pressure a little bit better.
Yeah, it can motivate you or it can break you. It's a decision you're going to make.
Yeah, I think mentally he's here.
Yep. I think this round especially, it seems like he's made a decision. In order to make this decision, you got to be willing to be a little bit more uncomfortable. He made a decision here. I'm going to go for it here.
For sure.
And against a guy who's not comfortable to deal with, he's made a decision to be uncomfortable, try to win the fight. Let's see if it holds as the rounds progress.
10-round fight. Remember, this is just the end of round number 3. A long way to go for JoJo Diaz, but looking good in the last 3 minutes.
Tiempo. Más. Pues tómatela, tómatela. Échale ahí. Hey, Philly. Atento, no te avientes con la derecha. Te quiere cachar. Te quiere cachar.
Round number 4 about to begin, scheduled for 10. You are in the corner of Abraham Montoya.
Hey, Philly, trabájame el cuerpo, métele la derecha al pecho. Al pecho. Llavea, estás más
Work on the
largo.
body, put the right to his chest.
Y luego se la vas a cambiar arriba. Vamos, con todo.
Range it up upstairs. Manos arriba, hands up. Good advice from the corner. Good round. Round number 3 for JoJo Diaz. But to your point, Paulie, can he keep it going? That is the question.
Again, that's a mental decision, right? Physically, we see here that he's able to do it. Okay, is he mentally willing to be a little bit uncomfortable in spots here to keep doing it? That's where you're going to find out if he still wants it at this level. Trips over the feet there as he try to step in. But again, the awkward Montoya will make you pay for that.
Yeah, Montoya will bang in the back of the head. He'll push you with his forearms. He'll punch you on your hip.
Yeah, that off balance was their fleet foot banging into each other.
I want to see, it's going to be interesting to see if JoJo's body work is going to pay dividends.
Montoya's having a little run here. He's landing some good shots.
Also, one thing, you know,
a body shot.
Headbutt there as well by Montoya.
Junior, we talk about it all the time. You can lose the fight,
body shot,
and you can also lose to the moment. Montoya's not losing to the moment. JoJo Diaz isn't a name to him in any way. Yeah.
He's there all night.
Yeah, that was actually one of the things I asked JoJo in the interview. I said, you know, this is going to be the biggest fight for this guy against you. This is his moment. You know, how do you feel about that? And Montoya's showing up.
By the way, guys, Montoya got the instructions to go use that right hand to the chest. Early in the round, he started that, and it was a good setup for the rest of the combination.
Oh, big right hand shot, pushing JoJo backwards.
I'm not liking this round for JoJo. He had a great round 3. He's getting hit a lot here.
Staying in the pocket too much.
He's not liking the shots either.
It was also a decision made by Montoya now to be uncomfortable and go back and get it. So both guys have a physical battle as well as a mental battle here.
I think it's an easier choice for him too.
Yeah, Montoya, I mean, what's he going to do? Start boxing on the outside? Yep. This is what he's got to do anyway. And you see he's reaching for that right hand to the chest. Trying to use to set up the following punches afterwards.
Remember what I said about Montoya in round number 1? He builds. He's slow. He starts slow, but he builds. He chops that wood round after round.
Nice shot by JoJo.
Left hand and a right hand.
Good scratch.
Shots there by JoJo.
And also, as you get older in the fight world, you get asked this a lot, what changes? And I said, the next day sucks more. Right? Your ability to recover isn't necessarily there. And JoJo Diaz spent a lot of gas in round number 3, gentlemen.
And the next day turns into the next 3, 4, 5 days.
Right, exactly.
As you get older.
And it's the same thing in rounds, where, you know, you can recover in between rounds in your 20s, and then it's minutes a lot shorter than it used to be. JoJo Diaz did a lot of work in round number 3. Could be panned for it in round number 4. Montoya starting to see the momentum shift his way.
Montoya is throwing some good body shots this round, too.
And the uglier the fight gets, I feel like it's also advantageous to Montoya. Montoya doesn't want a clean-cut fight. He likes this kind of ugly stuff.
Looks like ugly is Montoya's wheelhouse.
Yeah, you know, JoJo with being the Olympian likes that clean boxing.
Also, he wants to be in control of the pace and the space. And Montoya's not that kind of guy.
Back and forth we go. Good round number 4 for Abraham Montoya.
Yeah, JoJo had a great round 3, but Montoya really came back nicely in that round. That was a bit of a cuffing shot that had JoJo off balance. But other than that, Montoya did land some really good shots, especially to the body in that round.
Move. Walk, boom, walk, and take small steps. He's so freaking lunging with shit, man. All right? Small steps, Joe, small steps. Don't wrestle with him. Don't wrestle. How you feeling? Good. Good. Small step, put that jab in his face. And once he throws that right hand, which is always off balance, step in with both feet, the left hand will land. Small step. You have a little bit of home runs. Keep touching him. Yeah. All right. Good work, though. That was good. I need you to use your jab more, son. Jab, son.
Let's go. I think all those instructions are good, but I think hand positioning is also important for JoJo, because when his hand positioning is good, when he's firing, when Montoya fires back, JoJo's in a position to fire in between Montoya when his hands are in good position.
Also, he's got to bend those knees. There was 2 times in that round where he got hit with shots that cuffed him and pushed him off balance. That wouldn't happen if his knees were bent.
Start round number 5, scheduled for 10. 2 rounds in a row, Chris. What do you think of this? He's asked for reassurance. Like, am I doing all right? Am I hurting the guy? Usually a fighter, they believe they're doing that, right? He's asking his corner.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting, the body language in the corners. The questions that are coming out. It definitely shows you that JoJo's going through it a bit in his head.
Oh, look, left hook over the top from Montoya.
How do you defend that?
Yeah, I was going to say, it was a very weird shot. Dives in with his head, throws the left hook outside of his shoulder.
And also midway through the fight, Junior, is this where you start maybe reading that awkward guy and start finding the gaps? If you're JoJo Diaz?
I mean, I think he should be listening to his corner a little bit more. I think the jab would break up Montoya's rhythm a little bit. You know, he said take some lateral movement and use your jab. I feel like he needs that breather. Right now, he's trying to bang it out. I mean, JoJo's a Mexican warrior, and you know, that's what you're going to get out of him most of the time.
And Junior, that's another thing that the corner said, don't load up. Keep touching him. Keep touching him. Because if you go punch for punch, Montoya lands these big, awkward, eye-catching shots.
Yep.
Just keep touching him.
Good shot. You see, when JoJo punches with Montoya, he was able to punch in between him. Because they got the shorter shots.
Good body shots by JoJo.
But it just seems like Montoya may have the heavier shots.
For sure.
It isn't beautiful, but it thuds. You gotta feel it here at ringside.
No, it's actually ugly.
Yeah,
but it's effective.
The opposite of beautiful, ladies and gentlemen, but it thud.
Great round.
Yeah. Both guys staying at distance, landing a lot of power punches.
Yeah, I like this round better for JoJo than the last one, but both guys are having some success.
Would not want to be a judge with rounds like this.
This is back and forth. Hit the tat.
That's not how you learn it in the gym, ladies and gentlemen.
Throws a left hook to the body from 6 miles away.
But that's what, again, that's what JoJo's corner is like. He's so slow. Like, come on, counter him.
But it's all because you can't, you know, half of, probably 80% of counterpunching is anticipation. I
Right.
can anticipate
You
a
can't
guy
anticipate
like
this,
that. You can't anticipate him. He throws shots you would never think of coming.
It's like playing a toddler in a video game. They're just hitting the buttons and it doesn't make any sense. You got to figure it out.
Nice job. I think that's what he needs to do. Feint from there and use his feet a little bit more.
Yeah, even level change a little bit.
Yeah, just create.
Mentally, he wanted to be here. It looks like he does. A lot of fight still left in JoJo Diaz.
He's going to have to dig in the second half of this fight.
Well, we liked going across the pond so much in Belfast. We're doing it again. That's right. ProBox TV, Dylan, the real deal Moran, 19-2, taking on Tyrone McKenna, 23-5-1, a welterweight showdown. Irish pride on the line. We're ready to get underway. JoJo Diaz, Abraham Montoya are halfway through this 10-round fight. That last round, back and forth, to say the least, gentlemen.
They're meeting each other in the middle of the ring.
Literally.
Yep.
Because I don't think either man has really established the dominance yet. This fight is still very much up for grabs.
Very close.
I know, Chris, you kind of keep like kind of a mental scorecard. A hard thing to do in a fight like this.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much leather being thrown and landed. Very difficult fight to score. I'm glad I'm not a judge tonight.
Nice.
And also, a lot of judges don't give a lot of credit to the punches of a guy like Montoya because it is so. It's kind of, you know, he's not turning them over, not pretty, not beautiful. Yeah.
But they give a lot of credit to guys who come forward. And Montoya is always coming forward.
Yeah, especially here.
Yeah.
That's like, the default when you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
You just give the guy who coming forward the round.
Very, very true, gentlemen.
I like what JoJo is doing this round, trying to create some space.
Yeah, he found some really nice openings for counters at that mid-range, fighting off that back foot.
I was just going to say he's got to be first, and that's why he's got to be first.
Yep, it's a dangerous place.
Because, again, you can't really time the guy like this. So if you can be first and make a miss and keep your hand positioning on the return, you can win the rounds. Because if you're going to try to time a guy like this, it's not going to work. You got to work on being first with the simple shots.
And Junior, you can see the skill set. Like every round, he's trying something different. Like you said today, like, you know, I mean, right before this round, you're like, well, you know, his footwork, he's creating a little space. Like you can see he can do different things. He has the toolkit. JoJo Diaz.
He has you know, very high pedigree.
Yeah.
So he has, you know, tricks in his bag. So it's just about pulling him out and having the confidence in pulling him out. You know, he's been out for a while. He's been through some stuff, but I think this is definitely a better round than the last one.
Yeah, he's landing well in between the shots of Montoya this round. Montoya's got to stay with the pressure. He can't be going backwards. Good counter there by JoJo Diaz. Montoya has to make his pressure work. Montoya's also got to get back to the body.
Another good straight
shot, left hand there by Diaz again on the timing, on the counter. Montoya's got to go back to those right hands to the chest, guys. I mean, that was what was working, throwing JoJo's balance off, and then he was able to sort of follow up from there. He stopped throwing that right hand to the chest, which was working there. He just aimed for it now.
JoJo needs
maybe
to
here, he's all commentating. I don't know, but there he goes again with it.
I don't think he speaks English, so I doubt it.
I think we're all right.
But JoJo's having a really good round.
Good punch selection there by JoJo. And getting off first on the angle change, also very important. He did that right there.
Really, really nice stuff from JoJo in this round.
This is where you see the pedigree, like you guys are saying.
Dip and out. Good footwork from JoJo Diaz.
One thing JoJo has to keep in mind is not to get frustrated landing single shots and this guy's not going anywhere, because he's not going to go anywhere. You just got to keep doing what you're doing, be consistent, and be aware this guy's going to keep coming.
Now my question is, do the judges recognize the brilliance of this round by JoJo, or do they just give it to the guy who came forward?
I don't want to talk about such things.
JoJo's feeling good right now.
Yeah, really good round.
Ready to start round number 7. JoJo Diaz, his comeback, back and forth in almost every single round, gentlemen.
Yeah, that was a beautiful round. He was fighting at long range, mid range, inside.
Timing
beautiful
right
counters, there. Great timing. That was what he needs to do to be successful in this fight.
Now, it's going to be interesting to see how Montoya comes back out this round, because it's been 1-1. I think this round is going to be interesting too.
That's a great point, Jimmy, because in round 3, JoJo had a great round. Round 4, Montoya came out, had a fantastic round. So it's like these guys are so evenly matched.
Yeah, they're both
shot there by JoJo. He's doing a good job of being on first here, and Montoya has to put an end to that. That's what Montoya's got to do. He's got to put that pressure on. He's got to go to the body.
Cutting off the ring roll too, is Montoya.
Abraham Montoya.
Good shots there by Diaz, punching inside. You know, both guys are doing what we've been talking about now. Now Diaz is also punching in between the wider shots of Montoya as well.
JoJo's been super consistent to the body, and I think it is paying off a little bit. It's hard to stop a guy like Montoya from coming forward, but you know, if there's anything that'll do it, it is.
But you know what, Montoya is also not landing as cleanly as he was before either. So now you see JoJo with the eye-catching shots. Montoya does come forward, but the shots, when they land, they're partially landed, or they're missing altogether.
I think I see maybe a little cut on JoJo's right eye.
Got a little abrasion there underneath.
There's that right hand to the chest. I will reiterate, I think Montoya has to start with that more consistently, because that throws the balance of JoJo off, and then Montoya can follow up.
The argument, by the way, you were seeing in the ring is Montoya complaining about shots to the back of the head, and then JoJo Diaz saying he's moving his head. It's not my fault. I'm throwing a hook and he's going under it.
Oh, yeah. Montoya's buttered a bunch of times this fight, too.
Very, very true.
There's a little clash there as well.
I think hand positioning right now is super important for JoJo. Because Montoya's throwing that right hand straight downstairs again, and now he's gonna throw it upstairs. You know, he's gonna time it,
mixing it up.
Yep.
Shot back from Diaz. Both guys are
nice uppercut.
Wow.
JoJo Diaz willing to trade punches in the center of the ring.
Scrap here, guys, in round 7.
You see the championship class in JoJo, but you see the experience from Montoya, who's never in an easy fight. He's only fought tough guys, mostly undefeated guys in the last couple of years. Used to be in the B side, comes in and fights his butt off every round.
Did you see that combination? He threw a 1-2-1 from a square position. His feet were completely square. He just
a lot of stuff they don't teach in the gym is on display tonight from Montoya.
And if you're watching at home, do not fight like Montoya.
Oh, counter left hand. Nice. JoJo's found the timing with that shot, and that's been one of the more eye-catching shots of this fight, is that counter left hand by JoJo Diaz.
And it's probably been the hardest shot landed by either man.
Hook there by that smack left hook there by Montoya, though.
Smack right hook as well.
So again, Diaz has to get off first here. This is where it's important. The Montoya starts to get off the physical shots first.
The poker face of Montoya. His expression has not changed from round 1. Yeah, I said that earlier.
Body shot.
Has looked exactly the same. A couple jabs to the pit of the stomach for JoJo Diaz.
I'd hate to be a judge.
Yeah, and it's the way it's gone too, Junior. Is one round. They know when to turn it on.
I'd hate to be a judge, and I'd also hate to be across the ring from Abraham Montoya. This guy is a nightmare to fight.
There's that left hand there again. We've seen that being a little bit more consistent there from JoJo, but you see there JoJo going straight back, and he pays for it with Montoya throwing those shots as JoJo retreats.
That 2-1 combination is a great weapon against a southpaw, leading with that right hand, coming back with a power jab. Montoya was able to make that work last round.
Yeah, especially if they don't have the right hand position. Sometimes JoJo's hands are a little bit off when he's moving straight back. If you're going to move straight back like that, you got to change your level, or at least put your hand positioning in a better place.
They
want that right hand.
Right hand, they want those leads. You heard it correctly, Junior.
My Spanish ain't too great, but I know derecha.
Derecha.
I fought enough Mexicans to know that one.
Derecha, izquierda, first thing you learn. Más golpes, all right? All the basics. You know, if you fought in Southern California at all, JoJo Diaz out of El Monte, California in the green camouflage, Montoya in the black and silver.
Big overhand right from Abraham Montoya.
Montoya from California as well, but the California in Mexico, Baja California.
Montoya's conditioning is phenomenal. Even with all the body shots he's been taking, he's still pushing the pace.
Chris, you said he looks the same as round number 1.
Yeah,
nothing really changes.
And another point, this is not his weight class. He normally fights at 130. No, this is at 135 tonight. Actually, a little above 135.
So probably both guys are better at 130, right?
Yeah, I think JoJo's probably better off at 130 as well. But yeah, both these guys.
JoJo's found a nice home for his left hand.
Find the timing on the awkward guy. Ooh, good right hand from Montoya.
And again, that bad hand positioning on the inside. When JoJo's done punching, he's got to be careful with the hand positioning, because Montoya throws those weird shots, and he catches JoJo after he's done punching at close range.
That's the thing about fighting a guy like Montoya. You can never relax, because he's hitting you with awkward shots that you don't see. That's why you see JoJo get knocked off balance sometimes.
But the thing about Montoya is he goes off balance himself when he throws the punches. So if your hand positioning is good, you can actually catch and then shoot back because you can make him pay for that bad balance. Look at that weird left hook. You see the way he threw that?
Fundamentals always beat the awkward guys. You got to be super fundamental when you fight.
But you got to be first, I think, as well. So timing them is out of the question.
Ooh, nice counter.
Weird fight, man.
JoJo wants it, man. He's throwing combinations, and he's trying to push Montoya back, which is, you know, he got to be in some good shape tonight too.
Yeah, it's a good sign. It's a good sign the hunger for JoJo Diaz is there.
And if he gets past a guy like this, this is a good preparation for a big fight.
Yeah, I tell you, Montoya's hungry too, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
He's fighting hungry too. He knows this is probably the biggest fight of his career.
This is his world title fight.
Yeah.
He's probably never going to be in a world title fight. Almost certainly not. But
if he gets a win here, you never know.
Yeah.
Devonta Davis will fight anybody these days.
Paulie Malignaggi always with the commentary. 30 seconds left to go in round number 8.
Paulie never misses a chance to jab.
Never misses
one of the best in the business.
Am I wrong for just wanting entertaining fights and not wanting to waste my time?
Hey, Montoya, he can take a punch.
Oh, nice feint there from Montoya.
Paulie's like, I took a lift over here with Canelo's last opponent was my driver. Like everything. It's always, Paulie always brings it back to somebody.
Come on, man. I just want good fights. Oh.
End of round number 8.
Joe, I just want you to use your jab. From there, every other shot will fall in. Okay. Son, you're doing good. Utilize your jab. Okay. Then the other shots will come in. Yeah. Please, just try, double up on the jab. Feint. Boom.
Junior, you weren't ready for the comedy ringside that you get working with Paulie Malignaggi, Chris Algieri, and Jimmy Smith.
I grew up around these guys, so I know they have a sense of humor.
I know Junior since he could before he could walk, I think.
yeah. I know the sick, twisted humor of Paulie Malignaggi.
The advice again for JoJo Diaz as we go into his corner, stay behind the jab. Use that jab effectively against this awkward fighter. Mas Corpez, another thing you learn real quick.
Yeah.
You fight Mexican fighters. Round number 9 underway.
I think these 2 rounds are going to decide the fight, guys.
Yeah,
I think, you know, Montoya came out. Again, talk about the hunger of Montoya, too. He came out throwing punches right away. As soon as the bell rang, he went across the ring and started throwing a bunch of punches at JoJo's. It's going to be will and it's going to be skill here these next 2 rounds.
I haven't
decide the fight.
I haven't been checking each round as we go. I feel JoJo is ahead slightly, but there's 2 rounds to go.
I'm not convinced.
You never know.
I'm not convinced. And no matter who's ahead, I am convinced that they may need these next 2 rounds. Both guys need to really fight these next 2 rounds because you just can't take a chance.
And certainly not a wipeout in either direction as JoJo Diaz making his comeback here on ProBox TV. Not just a comeback in terms of boxing, but in life.
And Jimmy, you mentioned last round that Montoya looks like it's round 1. Look at his face. He's not a mark on him. The guy, he's made out of something else. He just comes forward. You can hit him. He doesn't get tired. He doesn't change speed, pace.
The fact that he hasn't slowed down a bit from the body work is, you know,
impressive.
Very impressive.
Both guys. I mean, JoJo's still throwing that sharp counter left hand, and that has been one of his key weapons tonight. If he does come out on top tonight, it's some of those eye-catching counter left hands will be partially responsible as well.
I mean, very, very good. Sweat flying into the air. It's the kind of thing judges notice. They don't notice anything else. Another one there.
Good luck.
He felt that one.
Yeah. With Montoya, he throws it so weird. It's almost like the old, remember the cartoons, the old slow ball? Like you see it, but then you don't see it because it's so slow. You think about getting out of the way. You get out of the way of it, and then you come back into the trajectory of it before it even reaches.
Yeah, you counter, but the punch hasn't even gotten to you yet.
So you're done, and then it hits you.
Yeah.
He's throwing that counter left hand a lot. I would love to see him throw it up the middle.
Yeah, we'll come back with even a hook.
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny giving the old slow ball. Swinging it 3 times and you're out.
Oh, there's a sharp 1-2 though.
Down the guard. Down the middle, splits the guard. Oh, and a uppercut and a right hand.
Nice short right hand.
Back with the body work for JoJo. And a big right hook. Good shot.
You could tell JoJo wants this though.
Yeah, he's not giving an inch.
He would have already been out of here.
Yep.
Whoever would have stopped fighting at this point, and he has not at all. against a tough and awkward opponent in Abraham Montoya.
I tell you, Jimmy, this is also one of those fights where you feel within yourself and you decide, do I still want this? You know, you find out about yourself in a fight like this. You know, good another sharp left hand by JoJo Diaz.
So far, the answer is yes, Paulie. He does want it.
Yeah, I think we got a cut on JoJo in the middle, in between the eyebrow vertical shot.
Everyone knows if that's a headbutt or not, right? Headbutt
I've never seen a vertical cut from a punch.
Yeah.
Never seen a vertical cut from a punch.
But no signal from the referee that I heard saying it was due to a clash of heads. But doesn't look to be a big problem yet. And only one round to go as we finish round number 9.
And Montoya has been falling with his head a lot.
Yes, there's been a number of head clashes all night long.
One round to go.
You see the vet move that JoJo tries to pull and get back to his corner, and you know, Montoya hops right on you.
Yeah, that's true. Good catch.
You hear the 10-second tap, you go back to your corner, so you get a full minute rest. The other guy's got to walk across
He's
the
done
ring.
that in multiple rounds.
Yeah.
Hey, ponle vaselina. Rápido. Mande. Acá la adrenalina. Agua en la cabeza. A ver, espérale, sácala. En la cabeza.
Cierra la boca, cierra la boca.
Philly, vamos por el último round. Todo. No te vayas a sorprender con un golpe, No te vayas a sorprender. Bien vivo, inteligente. Intenta buscar el...
Be intelligent, last round, give it your all. The advice from Montoya.
Look at me, son. Off your jab, baby.
God only knows who is ahead in this fight as we begin round number 10.
I would expect fireworks in this round.
Yeah.
Both these guys are going to go for it.
You read my mind.
Jimmy Smith, Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi, Junior Union, super middleweight, undefeated, joining us. Great sharing the booth with you, man, but it has been a fight that has been back and forth. JoJo Diaz clearly has the toolkit to win, but Montoya, awkward, pressure, and power, and really almost everything he throws, awkwardly heavy-handed.
Yeah, very heavy-handed, just naturally heavy-footed, too. It's not pretty, but it's effective at times.
And he's there. Mentally, he's in the fight. He was laughing in his corner going into that last round.
That's another day at the office for Montoya.
Yeah, he loves this type of fight.
The grittier, the uglier, the better it is for Montoya.
Paulie, you said it probably comes down to these last 2 rounds. I think JoJo Diaz had a good round number 9, but cannot let off the gas here. Neither fighter can fight like they're ahead.
Yeah, Montoya trying to target that right hand to the chest again, but it wasn't able to follow it up. The jab there by Montoya.
Stop.
Montoya throws from any angle.
Any punch, too.
Yep, any punch, any angle.
It's so difficult to anticipate him.
When they tied up a few moments ago, this is the first time I saw a little fatigue in Montoya. Normally he would have tried to bully and be more physical with JoJo. That time he didn't.
Playing about shots to the back of the head, but no warnings so far, no points deducted in this fight, no knockdowns.
And Montoya comes in with his face literally pointed to the ground, so he gives you the top of his head. Oh, good body shot there by Montoya.
But a nice hook over the top from JoJo Diaz.
Another one.
JoJo looks super fresh right now.
Yeah, he looks good.
Another body shot by Diaz. He returns the favor. Sometimes you get hit with a good body shot, you want to give one back, you know?
Well, it kind of reminds you, oh, yeah, I can hit the body, too.
Oh, good shot there by Diaz. Again, punching inside of Montoya. He's got to be careful going straight back like this, though, guys. Good body shots there by Montoya.
I think he should keep using that check like he did in round 6 and 3.
Yeah, the check is there when Montoya's chasing, because Montoya chases with his face first.
For sure.
Under a minute left in round number 10, the final round here. The comeback of JoJo Diaz.
A little clash of heads from both guys there.
It's the first sign of emotion.
Yeah, right? First time he changed his facial expression.
Coming up on 150 days sober is the fighter from El Monte, California. Says he wants this as a stepping stone. He wants world title fights, get back to where he was, a former world champion.
Jump on him.
Yeah, can he do it tonight? Have the comeback he desires with that straight left hand. It's been money for him throughout this fight. 10 seconds left.
I like how JoJo did not let off these last 2 rounds, man. He really, he wants this fight.
I wonder if he would have the mental desire. He has answered with an emphatic yes tonight. Is it enough, however? That is the question.
What a great fight.
An excellent fight.
Really good fight, man. Really, they both had to show the skill. They had to show that they wanted to win. Both guys are going to feel like they won this fight, I guess.
Yeah.
Montoya just jumping around like he won the fight.
And both fighters could have. Very close fight for 10 rounds.
Tricky.
I have JoJo. I do too.
I think JoJo got a little sharper the last couple of rounds. Montoya did keep chasing it though. So like I said, you got to be careful to when it comes to judging for dummies. It's just go with whoever's coming forward.
It's what you like.
Yeah.
It's what you like.
You know, in an 8-round fight, I could have seen Montoya winning that fight, but in 10 rounds, I believe those last 2 rounds, JoJo really separated himself with his caliber.
And Paul, you also talked about the eye-catching nature of the counter.
Jimmy, you were reading my mind. So those little sharp shots, eye-catching, they have more snap. You know what it is with Montoya, too, when he does land, he's pushing a lot of his shots. Those sharp, snappy shots by JoJo, they became a bit more accurate in the second half of the fight, especially late. We started seeing that left hand get in there sharp. You know, it wasn't the biggest power shot, but it was sharp left crosses, both from a counter perspective and from a lead perspective. It may be a little bit of a difference maker.
Yeah, but that man right there, Abraham Montoya, he came to fight.
Yeah, both, you know, they earned their keep here.
JoJo Diaz, as you pointed out, Chris, not fighting in his ideal weight class, about 5 pounds heavy, he's 135 pounds.
I mean, both guys, right? And Montoya as well, right? Right, Chris?
Both guys usually at 130.
Montoya is also at 130.
Montoya is normally at 130.
But who won in the eyes of the judges? That is the question. Jim Sorensen ready to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Griffith scores this bout 98-92 in favor of JoJo Diaz.
Wow.
Judge William Glover scores this bout 98-92 in favor of Billy Montoya.
What you like.
Wow. Wide scores, both of them.
Michelle Walker Serrano scores this bout 97-93 in favor of your winner by split decision, Billy Montoya.
Montoya winning.
Wow.
But 98-92 on 2 scorecards.
Either way.
Like I said, judging for dummies, guys. I mean, I will say with this commission especially, it is they don't catch the subtleties. It's just who's coming forward, and I call that judging for dummies. It's basically I don't know what I'm watching, so let me just see who's going forward, and that's the easiest thing for me to catch. Which you know, my niece could see that too, and then you can judge the fight. But it's typically something I see from this commission. I've noticed that time and again. It actually happened to me in my bare knuckle fight, not to go into my own personal thing, but you know, whoever's coming, they don't see any other nuances, any other subtleties. It's just who's coming forward.
98-92 either way is horrible.
Absurd.
It's crazy.
Hey, Junior, really appreciate you. You were great on the desk today. Had a lot of fun calling it with you, man. Anytime you want to sit here, you let me know.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you. Disappointing comeback for JoJo Diaz. Controversial fans, let us know what you think. We always love to hear it. JoJo Diaz losing by split decision. Wow. We thought was a very, very close fight, but more to come, including in our main event for 10 rounds in the welterweight division. Nicklaus Flaz versus Christian Gomez, and Nicklaus Flaz backstage with our own Beatrice Callis. Take it away.
Nicklaus Nico Flaz, one of the fighters of the main event of the evening, uno de los peleadores del evento estelar de esta noche. Nico está rankeado número 11 por la AMB y la OMB, y una victoria esta noche pudiera potencialmente catapultarte a los top ranks de la división peso welter. A victory tonight could potentially put you in among the best ranking fighters of the welterweight division. ¿Con quién te gustaría enfrentarte y qué se siente estar en el evento estelar de la noche? Who would you like to fight next, and what does it feel to be in the main event of the evening?
Bueno, ser la atracción principal del evento es una emoción, un orgullo, ¿verdad? Por todo lo que he pasado, ya estoy estelarista. Y en verdad me gustaría enfrentarme con el que me ponga mi promotor, el Samsung Lecowis. Él se encarga de eso y el que me ponga de frente, con ese no me voy a enfrentar.
It's very important for me to be part of the main event of the evening, and actually I don't have any particular opponent that I would like to fight. Whoever I get to be in the ring with, I'll fight them, and it will be an honor for me. Tu última pelea fue aquí en ProBox TV y ganaste el título continental del CMB contra Alfredo Escárcega. You won your last fight here in ProBox TV in July of 2024 against Alfredo Escárcega. What do you think are the keys for the victory tonight? Tienes un gancho al cuerpo muy bueno que copiaste de Miguel Cotto. ¿Qué se siente y obviamente cuáles crees que sean las claves de la victoria para esta noche?
Será paciencia y traer round por round hasta que la mano llegue o ganar por punto.
I'm ready with my new technique. I'm not going to say a lot now, but I am ready to fight. Muchísimas gracias. Back to you.
Gave him his cards very close to the vest is Nicklaus Flaz. Escárcega, the last time he fought, ProBox TV, very, very tough fight, but man, he flowed so well, looked nearly flawless. Another man who certainly believes he's flawless, has a ton of confidence. Darrelle blast Val-Saint. Undefeated at 11-0, the Haitian-American fighter. You're looking at him right there, lean and mean in the super welterweight division. Look at the betting odds here. They agree. Val-Saint looking fantastic, minus 2,500 over Angel Ruiz, who was plus 1,000. Remember, we had an upset in our last fight, JoJo Diaz over Montoya. So live dogs all night. Look, 22 versus 27. Val-Saint, 6 feet tall, very tall for the weight class. Had trouble shedding the weight. Ruiz, 3 pounds heavier. Jim, get it going.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another 10-rounder, this time in the super welterweight division. Your judges for this fight, David DeYoung, Efren LeBron, and Tina Griffith. And your referee is Luis Pabon. Introducing to you first, he fights out of the blue corner. He wears the red and white trunks. He weighed in at 158 pounds even. His record, 18 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw with 13 big wins by knockout. From Los Angeles, California, please welcome Angel Relampago Ruiz. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black and silver trunks, weighing 155.8 pounds. He is undefeated. His record, 11 wins with 9 wins by knockout. Your hometown fighter from Orlando, Florida. Give it up for Darrelle Blast Val-Saint. With instructions, Luis Pabon.
Okay, guys, I give you instruction in your corner. You're having a clean match, okay? Good luck. God bless you.
Darrelle blast Val-Saint. You saw Edgar Berlanga in his corner. Val-Saint believes this is his stepping stone to greatness. Ruiz says, I should be the A side in this fight. This Val-Saint is in the spot I want. Can he take it? Round number 1.
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup. Big step up for Val-Saint. We've had Angel Ruiz on our air before. He's come in as a B-side and gotten victories before. Big, strong, young, obviously confident. Good jab there.
That's another key. Has a great jab. Val-Saint in the black and silver, Ruiz in the red and white.
Ruiz came with a chip on his shoulder here. He didn't like the way he was sort of portrayed in this fight as the B-side, as the opponent. He says he's got the bigger experience, been in the bigger fights. And to that degree, he has. But he should. It's also, when you look at the way prospects get matched on ProBox TV, you're also not surprised that somebody like Ruiz gets brought in as an opponent, even though technically there's really not a lot of opponents on ProBox. A lot of B-sides tend to win here.
Yeah, very live dog tonight, for sure.
And that's the way we want it here at the network.
Beat Louis Colazo on ProBox TV.
That was bad. Bad clash events. You see Val-Saint fighting at that southpaw position. He does switch sides throughout fights. He's choosing, big left hand on the top from Ruiz. He does switch sides, and you're seeing obviously that Ruiz is southpaw. He's coming out southpaw himself.
So on the Collazo fight, what you're seeing now, Ruiz does like to load up some power punches from some weird angles.
Everything Ruiz throws
Another
is
good
hard.
jab there by Ruiz. I tell you, Ruiz has been landing that good stiff jab this round.
Well, he showed that in the Collazo fight. Collazo also a southpaw. Ruiz was able to land a very good power jab in that fight. Ultimately, Collazo succumbed to the power of Ruiz. As you can see, Ruiz is a very, very physical guy, big, strong.
Yeah, good left hand there by Val-Saint a second ago. He's trying to get back on that jab as well. Val-Saint using that jab to the chest a lot, while Ruiz has been powering with the jab to the head this round. There's a double jab by Val-Saint, very smooth.
Yeah, Val-Saint, very snappy.
Very true. One thing you notice about Ruiz, the size of his shoulders, man. He has like massive shoulders.
I called a number of his fights. He used to fight at 147. I remember I interviewed him after. Like, man, how did you ever make 147? Like,
Missed weight for this fight. So you know, I just couldn't shed those last couple pounds. Don't know exactly what it is. With 27, you start getting a little thicker, start getting a little stronger. Means having trouble even getting down to super welterweight.
yeah, might be time to move up again for Ruiz, man. Very, very big for junior middle.
Val-Saint, 6 feet tall, very, very lean.
But this is Val-Saint's first fight below 160 pounds. He's fought much heavier in his career.
And he had power at middleweight. Yeah, that tells us something.
Exactly. But also what tells you something is he looks like the smaller man here, even though it's him moving down. That's how big Ruiz looks.
Ruiz just missed with that right hook there. And Val-Saint staying disciplined behind that jab. This is one of those fights where it's going to have to develop a little bit for both guys. I don't think it's...
They are throwing, not a lot of feeling out in round number 1.
Oh, there's no B-side in this matchup. This is both guys coming here to win.
Con el chap. ¿No? Oye, atiéndeme, ya le has dado 2 veces. No pierdas un punto por eso, vamos. Son en la línea, vos. No, vamos. No. Ey, hijo, escúchame, al cuerpo. Saque, quítele el chap, tiene que estar chiquito, no puede estar paradote. Chiquito.
Into the corner of Angel Ruiz, did not want to sit down on the stool. Don't fight straight up was the advice.
Youthful exuberance, right? That's what we always call it.
Love it.
Didn't want to sit down in the corner, wants to go right to it.
You heard what I'm saying? He can only throw that overhand right. You listen to what I'm saying, right? Keep those hands
Take those
disciplined.
out.
Okay. Out.
Disciplined hands.
Those
you
hands
heard it.
disciplined. Good advice in the corner for Val-Saint. Don't get tall. Good advice for the corner of Ruiz.
Because Ruiz, even when he throws a jab, it's this thudding Lennox Lewis kind of jab. It's not a feeling out kind of jab.
No, he throws everything hard. And again, we saw that in the Louis Collazo fight. He was hurting Collazo with jabs that whole night. Everything's heavy with him. Yeah.
Okay, stop.
No pawing punches from Angel Ruiz, fighter out of Los Angeles, California, Mexican-American.
And Ruiz landed some good stiff jabs in that first round. Actually popped the head back of Val-Saint a few times. There he just misses with the left hand over the top. But the sharper, snappier punches are coming from Val-Saint so far.
Darrelle Val-Saint, the Olympian for Haiti in 2020. National finalist in the U.S. as an amateur. So he has that amateur pedigree you talk about, Paulie, that gives you those fundamentals. You see that tonight.
Yeah, and he's going to need them. Because Ruiz is going to try to offset that with pressure, with physicality. Good uppercut there by Val-Saint, but you see how Ruiz comes right back looking for these big shots. So Val-Saint's going to have to be really alert. Good body shot. And this is one of those opponents, Ruiz, where Val-Saint's going to have the presence of mind to know how to cook him. And does have Val-Saint have the experience to understand how to cook an aggressive, fringe contender like Ruiz, who can be very dangerous.
But also stay switched on all night. Val-Saint has to stay switched on like he is right here. Maintain it. Doing it's one thing, when you're a super athlete the way Val-Saint is, but even to keep it on is another.
Yeah, because Ruiz throws big shots. One moment of sleeping and
he'll catch
he could put you to sleep.
Yes, exactly.
Ruiz has only been stopped once. That was in 2019.
But the more Val-Saint starts to show this variation of boxing, you're going to see the guy like Ruiz start to slow down. The confusion starts to set in. You see Val-Saint starting to really mix up the offense upstairs and downstairs. Good shot selection being shown this round, and Ruiz is starting to get a little bit confused. Even there, to have the presence of mind to smother as he runs out of room so that he can take the fight back to the center ring where he wants it. Really poised, mature stuff there by Val-Saint this round.
Who's got that very long reach, long arms, he's tall for the weight class, doing a good job of maintaining distance.
Oh, good shot there on the inside, and again, he smothers the return. Ruiz. Good little short uppercut there a second ago.
That's the thing, when Val-Saint's at a distance, he can see some of those wider shots from Ruiz and pick his spots better.
Got around the glove as well with that good, that stiff jab by Ruiz. He throws a real good power jab. I don't know if he's a natural right-hander fighting in the southpaw stance, but he throws a right hand like it's trying to pummel a hole through you.
He's been throwing some hard left hands too, so I don't know if he's actually right hand, so I think he just throws hard.
Mike Tyson, Oscar De La Hoya, both naturally left-handed, but fought orthodox, as whether hooks were so good. It's part of the reason.
His blast, I'm not sure whether he's actually naturally lefty or righty. He might be a true ambidextrous person. Oh, good left.
Nice, straight left.
Oh!
Using that aggression of Ruiz against him. Good timed uppercut there as Ruiz was angry, but for getting hit with that left hand from Val-Saint, tried to make him pay for it, come right back. Instead, he walked into an uppercut.
No retreat from Ruiz. He got hit and wanted a war.
Val-Saint doing a good job of staying calm, even though he's got big punches whizzing by his head from a big guy.
Yep.
A lot of action in that round number 2. Ruiz still not wanting to sit in his corner. This one's scheduled for 10, but they're fighting like it's a 6-rounder.
Well, I mean, it's because you got to get Ruiz is starting so fast. You see the way that he brings it. That's just the way that he fights.
Some action from that second round.
There's that power jab of Ruiz.
That jab we kept mentioning.
That was the left hand by Val-Saint. You see Ruiz try to come right back. You see Val-Saint slip and slide away. We didn't get the counter uppercut there because Ruiz does end up walking into a counter uppercut. If we stay, we're not going to stay. All right, it's all right. But we'll take our word for it, guys, because you guys saw it during the live call.
All right, but stop pulling straight back.
Yeah, under duress, Val-Saint handled it very, very well. Hands high, good movement.
Funny, I like to see the juxtaposition of the corners. You've got Ruiz, who's standing tall, seems like it's a little hectic, a little frantic. And you see Val-Saint just sitting, very, very calm.
So Ruiz has that power jab. You see Val-Saint has a more versatile jab. Changes speeds, double tip, snaps. With Ruiz, it's a bit stiff. There it is right there. And it's hard for him to double it up.
But also at times Val-Saint, he'll probe with that jab. He'll touch it and put it out there.
Look to get some response out of you to set you up for a counter. And there's a snap jab from Val-Saint.
And Chris, that could be another side effect of the amateur.
Good hook there from Val-Saint.
Nice hook and spin off, get back to the center of the ring. Good boxing.
The angle.
Talk about the relaxation in the corner. He's been through big fights. The guy was at the Olympics. You know?
Right. And I always say that. I say that on our air all the time. You can see the difference of guys with the deep amateur background. It's in their eyes. They see everything. They're relaxed. They're calm. They're analyzing all the data, collecting information. You see that in Val-Saint.
He's trying to force these power shots. He's going to have to earn his way in because Val-Saint's going to start to get his timing more and more and more as the fight progresses. Ruiz has the aggression. Ruiz has the mental fortitude and the mental makeup for this kind of fight, but he's going to have to try to skill it a little bit as well because Val-Saint is otherwise going to start to outclass him here. And I love that hook when he used it to change the angle and spin around about a minute ago, guys. That was really, really impressive about Val-Saint because it got him off the ropes and it landed a clean right hook. Complaining there from Val-Saint to Luis Pabon, the referee.
Yeah, hanging on to that right arm of Val-Saint.
Oh, good shot there. And again, the punch selection. Really impressive stuff here from Darrelle Val-Saint.
And he's not leaving any stone unturned. He's going to the body, he's picking, he's rolling his hands, he's infighting really well, using that inside dirty boxing excellently, the way he's able to tie up the bigger, stronger man.
Chris, you and I can explain. It's called a Russian tie he's using on the outside. Illegal in boxing, but they're both doing it.
Oh, big body shot. Digs down low with the right hook.
Ruiz shakes his head no, but again, he can't anticipate what's coming because Val-Saint's punch selection is so varied. Ruiz can't really anticipate what's coming, so he's not able to punch back. He's got to play it safe and stay covered up.
When you're, a guy like Blast, who's so athletic, a lot of the punches, they're just intuitive. Like they're coming off because they're there.
Nice left over the top though from Ruiz. Gets a smile from Val-Saint.
Val-Saint even rolled a little bit with that one, but Ruiz is, JoJo shows you, Ruiz is still live. He's still firing away.
And Val-Saint needs to be switched on because Ruiz is still dangerous. That was on the gloves, but it made a big splash of the sweat.
A good hand positioning by Ruiz as he's able to fire right back as well. He missed as well, but again, that's what Ruiz needs to do. He's got to have those hands in position so that he can fire right back. Because Val-Saint is very varying
that
jab
one
left
got
hand. Yes, and the second jab mixed in with the power left cross after it. Really smooth.
Ruiz, the power puncher, getting hit with power shots himself.
Oh, but uppercut on the inside from Ruiz, though, after getting hit with a big left hand.
Both these fighters looking for the finish. with every punch they throw, gentlemen. Woo!
Respire. Mire, se lo voy a decir calmado, una vez, al cuerpo. Olvídese de la puta cabeza, ¿me entiende? Tiene que trabajar el cuerpo, respire duro. Mire, Ángel, se está dejando golpear, hijo. Si se deja golpear, por lo menos es para meter sus golpes. Si se deja golpear para no meter golpes, ¿para qué está dejando golpear, hijo? Respire, respire. Escúcheme, hijo. Tiene que trabajar al cuerpo.
In Ruiz's corner, as you
cuerpo.
said, Chris, a little bit frantic and a little bit.
Yeah, they're telling him he's got to get to the body, but the problem with getting to the body, good left hand there on the replay here by Val-Saint, very sharp. The problem with getting to the body is you've got to first have him figure out how to close the gap the right way. I'm always curious about the instructions in the corner. Go to the body. Well, you gotta get in a range to go to the body. Going to the body is not something as simple as just going to the body, because you start at a distance of range where you cannot get to the body. So how do you close range without walking yourself into these left hands of Darrelle Val-Saint or somebody's sharpshooter shots of Darrelle Val-Saint? Because yes, you see right there, Ruiz wants to get close. He wants to get, but it's not that easy with a guy who's got fast feet.
Not to mention, even when he does close the distance, Val-Saint's so good in the infighting. He's tying his arms up, he's stepping around him.
And then he makes you pay at times too. He's countering you if you reach in too much, So again, going to the whole go, guys, for anybody at home, go to the body are not instructions. In order to go to the body, you got to first figure out how to close the gap.
We all came here from South Florida. How do you get to Orlando? Just drive north isn't good enough. It's a little bit more specific with your directions. That's what a great coach does. They tell you how to get exactly where you need to go.
See that feint from Val-Saint right there? Took a little feint, made Ruiz bite. Stepped out of position, into position.
They're also mixing speed. You see the probing with the lead hand. Sometimes he's snapping that right jab. Sometimes he's probing with it.
That comes from the calmness too, and that's why he's looking like he's not working that
He's
hard.
in his zone. He's in his zone. And Ruiz, again, to close that gap, what he's got to do, he's got to use that jab. He's got to feint his way in. He's got to move his head on the way in. He's trying to just power his way in, and he's walking into shots trying to do it, and it's not going to do it because Val-Saint's going to walk him into punches and then step out of range again, so you're going to be starting all over again.
Ruiz.
Clash of heads there. Clash of heads.
Nose.
Clash of heads.
That's a bad one.
That's a bad one. I don't know. Yeah, this might be over. Yeah, this might be over, guys.
Smashed his nose.
Yep,
I don't know if it's the nose or above the nose. It looks like maybe a cut in the middle of the forehead, but that's bleeding a lot.
Yeah, and Ruiz really wanted to go in with it. Yeah, he's bled. This is done. This is done.
Yeah, that's
He might have a broken bone over here, man. That's what I'm worried about here. There might be a broken bone in his face.
That's why I thought the nose was broken.
I mean, they both made faces in pain.
But if it's broken, would it be the top orbit? What is it right there?
Nah, I mean, that's your middle of your skull. It's a pretty hard spot. It's probably just a cut. But
yeah, this fight's probably over, guys. And you know what? That's accidental. Ruiz was aggressively coming in, but that's the way he's got to do it. I mean, he can't sort of pity-pat his way in. He's not that kind of fighter, so he's going to aggressively try to close the gap. Val-Saint made a little defensive move to sort of drop down because he didn't want to be up high on the ropes, which is the correct move as well. And they clashed heads there. I mean, this fight might be over here. I don't know that Ruiz is going to be able to continue. The thing is, what round are we in?
We're in round 4.
Oh, wow.
Round 4.
So this could be a technical
no contest.
No contest. Yeah,
right?
it has to be a completion of 4 rounds. No.
Wow. Yeah, it could be a completion of 4 rounds.
Varies by commission, but I believe it's end of 4, gentlemen. I believe you're correct.
I mean, that was shaping up to be a good scrap.
Yeah.
2 guys who are really going for it. That would be a real shame. That is a real shame.
Disappointing end to this fight. But Paulie, to your point, given the fact that he was leaping in a lot of the time, surprised there weren't more clashes heads. I mean, there's one big one.
You could fault him a little bit. He leaped in, but I also think that's the way Ruiz had to sort of power his way in. Because he didn't just leap in there. He did throw a punch on the way in. It just, his head was in there. He's not going to be the smooth fighter Val-Saint is. Ruiz is what he is, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. He's sort of the aggressive guy who's going to be a bit rough around the edges on the way in. And it just ended up, that's an accidental clash of heads if you ever seen one. Because Val-Saint dipped his head because Val-Saint doesn't want to be up high in the corner. He doesn't, when you're attacking, when you're the proper defensive move, when you're up against the ropes, when somebody attacks you, is to, make drop your level a little bit, so you're not up high on the ropes because you don't have anywhere to back up. So Val-Saint made that move. Val-Saint had a very good defensive radar tonight. But Ruiz also, sort of made that move as well. He saw his man on the ropes, step in aggressively. You're going to see it here.
Ruiz.
See Val-Saint's still going to set a trap here. Ruiz comes in, And there it is, yeah.
But I mean, listen, Ruiz was following his corner's instruction, go to the body, and he's lunging into a body shot.
And that's the thing, he was lunged in from this is from a body shot, and Val-Saint actually dipped, and then he was coming back up.
Yeah.
So
full
that's where the
head-on collision, and you see that cut, man. That's an angular, jagged cut right in the middle. Between his eyes of his forehead.
This could be a no contest. Yeah, and they're taking off the gloves of Val-Saint. It looks like it's going to be a no contest.
Yeah, I mean, people at home can't see the blood spray. It was spraying out of his forehead.
It was just dripping like a faucet. Like you just turn on the faucet and it was just coming red. It was,
actually, great job by the cut man to deal with it the way he has. But
that was actually the doctor.
The doctor and now the cut man.
Now the cut man. Mike the mechanic Basil is working on that.
Short of a shame, man, because, you know, I would have liked to see if Val-Saint could maintain what he was doing as the rounds progressed.
Also, I would like
the
to see
experience of Ruiz if it could get him back in
the second half of the fight.
Yeah, because Ruiz is the experienced guy who may take Val-Saint to a place that he's never been in that late second half of the fight with all this pressure. So it would have shaped up to really answer some questions that we wanted to know about both fighters in this fight. And
also, it was entertaining. It was a very entertaining fight.
Clash of styles where both guys really wanted to win. You know, both guys were really fighting with the winning mentality. That's what you love.
Because I was starting to think, I was seeing Ruiz take the big shots of Val-Saint. I'm like, he's taking these punches well. What happens in the second half of this fight if he stays there? Right. And can Val-Saint keep it up? Can he stay switched on? Can he keep avoiding the big shots?
Calm, because that was the key. That was the important thing Val-Saint was showing.
He did it.
Val-Saint was impressing me because he was staying calm, which
did it for 3.5 rounds. Can he do it for 7.5? Can he do it for 8? Can he do it for 9? You know,
that's the answer we're not going to get, champ.
I know.
That's why
I'm lamenting with you. I'm lamenting the end of this fight.
We're not
going to get a little bit out of line yourself.
You insult him a little bit. Well, this fight ends in a disappointing no contest in our co-main event. In a fight that was, shaping up to be
that's
a barn burner.
Gnarly cut, man. That thing looks open.
Yeah.
Val-Saint looks sharp. I mean, he has every right to be hyping up his fans who came here to see him tonight. He was doing extremely well. But a clash of heads will lead to a no contest. Jim Sorensen, let the crowd know, buddy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at 1 minute, 33 seconds in the fourth round, due to an accidental headbutt, this fight is stopped, and the decision is made that this is a no contest fight. No decision.
Incredibly disappointing, but considering how entertaining this fight was up until this point,
bring it back.
I hope we can get to see it again.
Run it back.
Rematch sounds good to me. Boss Gary Jonas, I'm sure, is thinking about that right now. But these guys have the styles to make a really entertaining fight. It was the kind of clash we wanted.
Yeah, I mean, Ruiz has been on our air before. He's found success here. He's run into some trouble in other organizations, fighting, I believe, in the OTX tournament. He lost to a very, very tough fighter who made it to the finals. Came back to ProBox TV, but let's have him back again. I mean, he's always entertaining fights with us.
And the first blemish, if you want to call it that, on the record of Darrelle Blast Val-Saint. He moves to 11-0-1. Angel Ruiz 18-3-2 now, but a lot of action throughout this fight.
Yeah, I mean, listen, started fast. Ruiz came right out and trying to impose his will, his physicality. Val-Saint was trying to keep that distance, fight at a range, use that jab. There we saw that big, heavy jab from Ruiz, which is landing quite a bit in the first 2 rounds. But then the power shots of Val-Saint started to find their home. As the fight was starting to wear on, you're starting to see some of that class, that amateur pedigree of Val-Saint, but the aggression, the physicality, the heart, the will of Ruiz never wavered. And then there we saw the headbutt that.
And you know, when you say styles make fights, you know, this is styles make fights, and this is the kind of styles you like, because it wasn't just the styles that made the fight, but it was the mentality. Yeah. Both guys were hungry to look good and win. Both guys really wanted to make a statement tonight.
Champ, that headbutt actually wasn't even coming up. He like slid down with it. That's why that cut looks so open. Yikes.
Yeah,
you saw the result, man. You saw Ruiz hit his knees, hit his knee. He was in a lot of pain.
There's a pool of blood in that corner. So where's the guy from? Come on, who's my Bloodsport fans here? Remember the guy who used to clean up the mat after the fights in Bloodsport?
Found the tooth and put it in. I remember it.
Tried it in. Yeah. We need that guy in that corner of the ring right now to wipe down the mat. That mat on the corner is totally bloody.
And now it's time for our main event. Walking in, that is Christian Gomez, Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, 23-4-1. key stat here is of those 23 wins, 21 knockouts. I told you about the theme of the co-main and main event is that tough fighters with great pedigrees taking on devastating punchers. Christian Gomez, no other way to say it. He's a devastating puncher. Can hurt you with either hand. Very, very tough.
Ton of experience, big KO power, 21 KOs in 23 wins.
That is
Guy does not like to go the distance.
Yep. And his opponent, Nicklaus Flaz, 13-2, 9 KOs. Always special, Puerto Rico versus Mexico. Flaz representing Puerto Rico. Incredibly talented in his own right. Let's see what the bookmakers have to say. Nicklaus Flaz, big favorite in this fight, minus 1,500 over Christian Gomez. Wow. Plus 800. Yeah, a little bit of a surprise there, I have to say. Christian Gomez, definitely a live dog, to say the least. Take a look at the tail of the tape for this, our main event of the evening. 28 years old is Nicklaus Flaz. Same height, similar weights, to reach a slight advantage for the fighter from Puerto Rico. And what's not shown here is Christian Gomez, man. He touches you with either hand, you are in big trouble. Boxer versus puncher in Sorensen. Get our main event going.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the moment you've been waiting for, your main event of the evening. This fight is scheduled for 10 rounds in the welterweight division. And these fighters are vying for the WBA Continental Americas USA welterweight title. Your judges for this fight, William Glover, Michelle Walker Serrano, and David DeYoung. And your referee, the third man in the ring, Mr. Frank Gentile. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, he wears the black with red trunks. He weighed in at 146.4 pounds. His record, 23 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, with 21 wins by knockout. De Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, demos la bienvenida a Christian Ninote Gomez. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white and gold and black trunks. He weighed in at 147 pounds even. His record, 13 wins, 2 losses, with 9 wins by knockout. He is the reigning WBA Continental Americas USA welterweight champion from Vega Alta, Puerto Rico. Give it up for Nicklaus Nico Flaz. Frank Gentile with the instructions.
Anything below here, I'm going to call. You got your instructions in the dressing room. Listen to my commands at all times. You understand? Any questions? Any questions? Great, touch them up. Good luck.
Ready to go in our main event. You heard the screams from the Puerto Rican contingent here in Kissimmee, Florida for the main event. That's for Nicklaus Flaz. His Mexican opponent, Christian Gomez. Puerto Rico versus Mexico.
It's a good fight. I'm looking forward to it.
Cannot wait to see it.
Both these guys were locked in at the stare down.
We're underway, round number 1. Nicklaus Flaz in the white, gold, and black. Christian Gomez in the black and red.
It's also a very interesting clash of styles, kind of similar to what we saw in the last fight. Nicklaus Flaz, who's basically like a break dancer out there. The guy's fluid, rhythmic, finds his groove. And you got Christian Gomez, who's a power puncher, comes forward, much more traditional Mexican style.
Yeah, but you know, when you think of a groovy kind of fighter, rhythmic kind of fighter, sometimes you think of a runner and stuff like that.
No,
this guy is actually, he likes to actually take the lead in the fight, and as you can see, being first and take control of the fight. never let you in it. And when he's at his best, that's what he's doing.
I mean, we've had him on our air, I think his last 3 fights. The evolution of this young man has been incredible. You look at him, he's got 2 losses, and sometimes you watch him like, how? But, you know, this kind of masterpiece takes time to put together, the way that he's able to, you know, figure out this rhythmic style.
I like his shoes, too, I tell you.
I mean, for making judgments about shoes, pretty excellent, I gotta say.
I used to like wearing Adidas shoes. They were comfortable, but they were also stylish. You know, those are cool.
Flaz coming with some good body work, but Gomez comes right back with a sharp left hook upstairs.
That's one of the things we talked about in the opening of the show, is that movement style, that ability to flow. Sometimes you can flow into a power shot, Paulie. You can move the wrong way at the wrong time and eat a big one.
Well, that's the thing about Gomez, too. I mean, he's got so much experience. He's a power puncher, obviously. He's been with the higher level competition. So the timing is there. How do you beat speed? Timing. Gomez has that. Let's see if he can find that timing against the very slippery and intuitive Nicklaus Flaz.
Talk about the better talent, Shakram Gyazov.
Yeah, I was at that fight.
Awkward fight, a power punch with a really funky style, and Gomez knocked down 3 times, saw the final bell.
Yes, kept getting up, was fighting hard, was outclassed that night, was outpowered. Got hit with a lot of shots you couldn't see because of the awkwardness of Gyazov. Gyazov, the guy kind of explodes and jumps in from wide angles from far away. Flaz is not that kind of guy. He's right in front of you.
Yeah, and Gomez not giving a lot right now. I think he's trying to sort of get himself figured out here in that round. Flaz giving a lot of angles, a lot of change of pace. Gomez just playing it safe, being defensive, maybe trying to see if he can catch a little bit of timing after this round.
It looks like Gomez look at that left hook. That's really the only shot that he's thrown. He hasn't thrown at full blast yet. Trying to find that timing, like you said, Champ.
That's his money punch. Hurt Gyazov once with that left hook.
He did.
It was the end of a round, couldn't quite finish him. You saw the power there. He has faith in it.
Go figure, a Mexican with a left hook.
I can't believe it. Also the willingness to throw it. But to your point, Paul, I think he's just taking the read right now from Flaz in round number 1.
Flaz needs to be careful. You know, this guy's looking to try and time you, try and figure you out. You don't want to get too relaxed. Ooh, good left hook from Flaz.
¿Cómo llevas el ritmo de la pelea? ¿Vamos bien? Él no ha tirado todavía. Necesitamos estar vivos. Recuérdate, el plan A, mitad, larga. Sentita, mano. Nada, respira duro. Ok, tira duro. Muy bien, me gusta lo que estás haciendo. Y entonces el ritmo, seguir trabajando. Estás trabajando muy bien en la zona de paz.
Old expression, don't hook with a hooker. When Nicklaus Flaz found some success with the left hook.
Yeah, the best punch landed in that first round was the left hook by Flaz, and that was the punch that it seemed like Gomez was trying to set up. Flaz didn't need any time to set up, though. He found his rhythm pretty quick.
Christian Gomez, Guadalajara, Mexico. Coming out of his corner, Nicklaus Flaz from Puerto Rico. We're underway for round number 2, and more of the same. Flaz, what I mean by flow in the beginning is he's always doing something. Even if he's not throwing a stiff jab, he's pawing out there, trying to set something up, just a little bit of movement, just constant motion.
It is constant motion. It's like a perpetual motion machine. Nicklaus Flaz, and it's tough to deal with, man, because he flows his offense off of that.
Yeah, I was going to say that, Champ. You know, it's not just the flow, it's also the punch selection that comes off that flow.
Beautiful left hook from Flaz.
He stung Gomez with the left hook again. Gomez is going to have to get some respect here. He's letting Flaz run him around the ring.
But that's the problem with Flaz is the flow comes off that rhythm. It's hard to see it coming. So it's difficult to know when to stop it because he's also changing punch angles.
Yep. And power and speed and timing and rhythm.
And that's why he's able to do it. It's a difference when you throw 100 punches around and you're throwing everything hard, and when you're throwing 100 punches around like Flaz, who is mixing power on the Barry shots and knows how to vary not just the selection of shots, but also the selection of how much emphasis he's going to put on every shot.
And Champ, how about his defense? He's making you miss. So then that's one thing about power punchers. When they can't make contact, they start to get hesitant with their power, and they start to pull off the power. You're starting to see that already with Gomez because he's not been able to put leather on Flaz with any kind of regularity. Oh, good right hand down low. Good left hook upstairs from Gomez. Finally, Ledge get a smile. There's the emotion, the emoting you get from Nicklaus Flaz when he fights.
Another volume puncture you guys might remember from welterweight to middleweight. Paul Williams just throwing, slightly off angle, and it's like, all right, when can I go? And you just never get that opportunity.
And not quite as rhythmic, but just nonstop
volume attack.
But also he was, 6'4".
I thought he was like 6'8".
Yeah,
every time.
It looked like it, and he had like an 80-inch reach at welterweight, and the southpaw.
Big 1-2 there. Gomez finally got something in there, but Flaz was undaunted.
Is it just me? Flaz looks so much bigger. I appreciate Gomez is a welterweight. He's been fighting at welterweight for a while. I thought Giaslav at welterweight, but Flaz looks considerably bigger.
I tell you, Flaz is not easy to deal with, guys. In a welterweight division that is very, very wide open and is not really a big dominant guy at that weight, especially weight for Ennis is the one that's going to leave soon. And from what we're talking about in the rumors, it's somebody like Flaz can really step in there and do stuff.
Especially with this crowd-pleasing style he has. It just never stops.
Flaz looks like he's hitting a heavy bag.
It's effective, too.
Nice left hook again.
He's doing those rumble drills that Andre Rozier makes us do in Coney Island.
Just, box and rumble, baby. He's boxing, he's rumbling. I mean, Gomez looks so uncomfortable. Now he fires back.
Not been able to make his jab a factor. Certainly not able to make his power a factor. Is the fighter from Mexico. Puerto Rican Flaz dancing tonight. Now I'm starting to see it. Dancing toward his corner right before the bell rang.
Yep. I told you, he's like a breakdancer out there. He's so rhythmic with it.
Make sure he gets the full minute rest, too.
Yep. He's not even breathing hard. Incredible conditioning, but that's also from being so relaxed. So calm, so relaxed.
Yeah, not a ton of power on any one punch, right?
No, but he's effective. Some of those shots were doing damage.
Y él se está guardando para los rounds de arriba. ¿Está bien? Ya tú has dado buenas manos y las has asimilado muy bien. Ahora yo necesito que tú empieces a trabajar combinaciones de velocidad que él no se espere. No lo has lastimado porque él ya está esperando tu fortaleza.
Good advice. His corner said he's saving himself for the later rounds. Work on the speed combinations. Meaning, don't let your guard down now. You're having success now. Gomez might start opening up late.
He might be saving himself for the other rounds. He might not make it through the other rounds the way this is going. Gomez is looking very uncomfortable. He's getting hurt by some of these shots.
But how do you like that advice, though? Even if it isn't true, this idea of, hey, this guy could start unloading at any point, and he is a power puncher.
I mean, it's good instruction from the corner. You want to make sure that you're dotting all your I's and crossing all your T's because you do have a dangerous puncher in front of you with a ton of experience and a ton of KOs.
Start of round number 3. So far, a technical wipeout for Nicklaus Flaz in the white, gold, and black against Christian Gomez, black and red.
Just so much variety. Just every angle. We're 30 seconds into the round. Flaz has thrown 11 different jabs, different kinds of jabs.
He goes upstairs, downstairs.
Yep. Cuts an angle, slide inside, slide outside, up, down, slide.
Puts weight on some shots, no weight on some other shots. He uses them as throwaway punches.
I say to people that there's 20, 30 jabs. They don't know what I'm talking about. Flaz does. This guy's putting them on display.
Absolutely. Paulie, something you told me about the difference between an amateur and a professional is amateurs tend to have one speed. As a professional, you got to learn to vary your speed. Flaz varies the speed on his jabs all the time.
Good shot there by Flaz.
Very
he
good.
varies a lot of things. And it's not to say that amateurs have one speed, because good amateurs do have different speeds. But what I'm saying is, if you have one speed, you can get away with it more in the amateurs. In the pros, you will not reach world-class level if you just have one speed. You've got to know how to vary that.
Guys, Flaz is landing some heavy right hands this round. I can't see Gomez taking this for too much longer. He's getting hit with everything.
Yeah, and now they're starting to get through cleaner and cleaner, too.
And he looks so uncomfortable.
And yeah, exactly. I was going to say, he looks like he has no answers for it.
Oh.
Nice slick right hand. Another good right-left combination.
There's more than one way to stop a guy. It's not just knocking him cold. You break his will, take him out of him. If he's not landing anything, you'll get a stoppage because guys just don't want to be there anymore.
Nice sharp right hand. Gomez cannot find his offense at all. He has Gomez off balance. Literally and figuratively.
Good body shot from Gomez.
Yeah, he's got to take advantage when Flaz does stand in front of him.
Big smile, big smile from Flaz. And then more body work.
I'd be smiling too if I were hitting up a heavy bag for money.
Yeah.
What he's doing tonight.
That's a great point, Jimmy. And having fun doing it. Yeah. The guy's smiling through it. He looks like he's dancing. I'd like to know what song he's listening to in his head.
Beautiful body shot to uppercut.
Oh, and he's hurting.
Telling you, man, this kid Flaz,
he's a problem.
Very, very good.
He is a problem. Listen, Gomez is a solid guy. I mean, to do this to him.
He's making him look lost tonight.
Good body shot, too.
Can't find him, can't hit him.
Can't defend against him.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to stop the punches. He can't stop the flow.
Oh.
And he can't land. Like it's Flaz doing it all. Oof. Oh.
Muy bien, vamos allá. Duro. Tenemos 10 segundos para respirar. Nos fuimos adelante en la... sorry. Nos fuimos adelante en la pelea. Pero eso nos asegura no la pelea, ¿ok? Cuando estamos caminando para la derecha y hacemos el ángulo con el gancho, lo está cogiendo. Pero estamos a corta distancia y la mano de él está cerca. ¿Está bien? La mano izquierda. ¿Has sentido alguna mano? Muy bien. Yo no la quiero sentir.
We're ready to begin round number 4.
Está muy arriba. ¿Está bien?
Nicklaus Flaz has every reason to be smiling, but Chris, after a round like that, you start thinking, do you want to see this guy take more of this? You know, is Gomez corner going, hey, look, you got to show me something?
I mean, it depends on what Gomez is telling his corner. Christian's in there being like shaking his head, man. No, I mean, you got to look at the body language and look at everything. Listen, if he still wants to go, you can go get more, catch more of those gloves, catch more of those hands. But you know, you should definitely start looking as he starts to get broken down more and more.
Hands can't hit what your eyes can't see, and right now Gomez does not know where Nicklaus Flaz is in round number 4.
Man, body shots, head shots, uppercuts, offense, defense, seamless transition for everything.
We haven't talked much about the footwork. He's just never in front of Gomez. Gomez can't load any punches.
Also, just the relaxation. It's just so relaxed.
You see Gomez trying to get different levels here in the ropes, trying to make himself a smaller target so that Flaz has less options with all this creative offense. But now Flaz gets his hands moving.
Just touching. Oh, good uppercut from Gomez right on the chin.
Lands back. That back claws up first time in this fight.
We got a little Puerto Rico versus Mexico brawl going on here.
Well, right back to work.
Flaz acknowledged the referee saying he hit low while throwing punches, nodding his head, didn't stop throwing the combination.
A slow overhand to hit the right hook over the top. Don't see that very often.
They're right above us, and Flaz is moving his hands. You're right.
Smiling.
He's treating him like he's drilling on the bag.
Yep.
Good defense, too. Good presence of mind for Flaz. He is seeing everything. It's incredible.
That body shot that he snuck in there was nasty. Very nasty.
All we need now is a what's my name, because he's having that kind of fight tonight. Right?
I mean, he is looking so sweet right now.
You don't know
this is where the name Sugars come from, when you got guys that look like this.
Yeah.
He likes that Tyson combination,
that's
too,
good.
Right? On the other side this time.
Gomez backed out like he really didn't like that body shot. On the angles. That's the thing, when you got a guy who's this offensive and he's hard to hit, it makes you keep your weapons at home. Gomez is afraid to let his hands go from his head.
He's sort of unsure about himself, right? He makes you sort of second guess everything you want to do. Every once in a while, Gomez will throw a big shot. And you know, you get confused as to what you want to do. You get confused as to how to throw it, too. Do I throw it big? Do I throw it small? You know, like, or do I just not throw it all? It gets to that point where you start to see that confusion in Flaz's opponents.
You're starting to see Gomez. He's only going to throw big because if he throws
so athletic too.
Yeah, he throws small. He's going to get hit with 5 smaller shots as well. If you're going to hit him, might as well hit him hard.
You see Flaz roll that right hand. Good uppercut.
Big right hand. Big uppercut.
And that'll give some confidence to Gomez. Flaz now going back to the body.
A bright spot in a round that belonged to Nicklaus Flaz.
Gomez landed a big right hand followed by a big right uppercut right on the money. Well-timed shots. Flaz took him well.
Great footwork for the fighter from Puerto Rico, but here it is, combinations. We talked about flow, gentlemen. It's on display just like this.
That's the flow.
Yeah.
There's that big right hand and right uppercut combination from Christian Gomez right at the end of the round. And you saw a little expression change there from Flaz. Those are good, hard shots.
But I mean, Chris, there's two sides to that coin. Number one, hit him with some good punches. Still there, smiled, went right back to it.
Right back to throwing.
Right, so that can be disheartening too. You throw your best punch and the guy's still standing right there, didn't back off.
Chins are funny, man. They're real good until they're not.
Yeah.
So, you know, Gomez now, listen, I can hit him. You couldn't hit him. Yeah. You couldn't hit him for 3 rounds. Now I can hit him. So it does give you some hope. Also, the corner is like, all right, we got a reason to send this guy out there. He can actually touch the guy.
I say, show me something. That was something.
Oh yeah, that was a big something.
But remember, still, clearly a 10-9 round for Nicklaus Flaz. I don't know how you can give Gomez any round so far.
Yeah, Gomez shows his keep at times, but it's not enough to win the rounds, in my opinion.
No. Few and far between. He's getting touched up, getting hurt at times. But let's see if Flaz can stay switched on the way he has been to see if he can keep the conditioning up. Again, he is very relaxed, but he's throwing a lot of punches.
Also moving quite a bit, using his legs constantly.
Well, as you can see, a little more cautious this round if they're taking those 2 big right hands last round.
Also could be, to your point, Chris, fatigue setting in halfway through a 10-round fight.
Yeah, he might not have thought that Gomez would still be here after the drubbing that he just gave for the past 4 rounds.
Great advice in combat sports. You want to get into it, never set a pace you can't keep. Oh, good right hand was off the shoulder of Nicklaus Flaz.
Gomez still throwing some hard shots, though. Looks like Flaz is taking a little different approach now. Going to look to do a little catch and shoot with the counter instead of just trying to overwhelm.
Yeah, still staying on the gas, though. At close range, though, Gomez at least is doing the right thing. I'm trying to go to the head of Flaz. Flaz is too slippery, going to the body.
Can't take away from the guts and heart of Gomez.
Gomez,
he's wanted to throw back.
I was just going to say, Jimmy, Gomez is definitely in great shape, and you referenced the Giasol fight. He was down 3 times in that fight. We lost every round, but finished the fight. We're still in the fight, so he's not a guy who's going to fold up and stay in his corner. He's going to fight.
Good combination there by Flaz. Mixing the shots well. Gomez is probably wondering how do I get this guy off me, and he doesn't stop. It's like a windmill. But again, it's notice how Flaz is able to flow so many punches. It's because he's not throwing them all hard, and that's how you're able to throw so many punches in a round and still maintain not being able to fatigue, because you're staying smooth with your body language, real calm, and you're taking power off of a lot of the shots.
Yeah, it reminds me of a little bit, a little Puerto Rican Aaron Pryor.
Yeah.
Yep. Got that kind of windmill, Henry Armstrong, keep it moving, but also got the fluidity and the conditioning. Look at this guy.
Posing in his corner to end the round.
He's like, you know what, the round's over.
Yeah.
Lo que te está tirando es fuerte, ¿está bien? Este round me gustó mucho porque no te expusiste, mantuviste tu distancia, seguiste tocándolo y cuando tuviste que trabajar duro, trabajaste duro. ¿Cómo te sientes? Ok. Vamos para el round 6.
Coaches like that last round from Nicklaus Flaz. That's what they said in the corner. They want more of the same. One difference, Chris, when you talk about Aaron Hawk Pryor, one of the most underrated boxers of all time, he was a mean SOB. He didn't dance. He wanted to rip your head off.
He didn't smile until you were in a heap on the floor. Flaz smiles the entire time. So definitely a little difference in terms of their personalities. Good point, Jimmy.
Exactly.
But stylistically, I see some similarities.
Definitely. The best 140-pounders of all time. I consider him #1.
Beat my hero twice, Alexis Arguello.
Oh, I love Arguello.
I know.
Second time destroyed him.
Yeah, it destroyed me too.
We're halfway through this 10-round fight. By the way, check it out on YouTube. Hawk Pryor, Alexis Arguello, both of them classic fights. Ooh. Oh. That's a slip.
Yeah, that's a slip.
Yep. Got over the feet. Little tangled up there.
Cut on the outside of the eye of Flaz.
Good eye by Frank Gentile to see that.
Flaz going back to work. Nice straight left hand. Another one.
Flaz
Right down the pipe.
really switched on right now. Oof.
We had every reason to believe this would be a serious test for Nicklaus Flaz.
I thought this was going to be a good competitive fight. Oh, man. Flaz just... Oh.
Power punch after power punch. And the fighter from Mexico, the Puerto Rican, just dancing his way through this fight.
Look how he presence of mind to have the defense as well. He's attacking with a presence of mind, always having the presence of mind to know to move after the punches, change the angle, didn't get hit with anything in return of there.
Curious that
he is cut though. Flaz is cut. I don't know if it was flash of heads or
it was when that little knockdown was, slip. I noticed it then, but it's curious that he's cut and then is putting that lead eye in front as a southpaw because he's been fighting orthodox most of the night.
Well, the placement, it's around the right eye. Doesn't look like it's a horrible spot. Doesn't look like a fight-stopping kind of cut either.
Nah, that blood looks like it's going to roll down the side.
Good body shot there by Flaz. Near the corner of Gomez saying, go to the chest of Flaz. I mean, I guess he's trying to wait if he can punch it between Flaz. If Flaz doesn't stop punching.
Never gives you that break. Incredible activity. I'd love to see the punch count here.
I mean, it's a nice idea because his head is so hard to hit. You just try and touch something. Make contact on the shoulders, on the chest, on the collarbone.
We heard our earlier comparisons to Paul Williams, 100, 150 punches around. Flaz has to be in that neighborhood for these rounds because it's just nonstop.
Yeah, I'd love to see the punch stats.
Oh, 3 straight uppercuts. Again, punch selection. Top notch here by Flaz.
I'd also like to see how abysmal the numbers of landed punches by Gomez are because the defense of Flaz has been stellar.
10 seconds.
Can't find him, can't hit him. See those big looping shots, not anywhere near the mark. Nicklaus Flaz, another great round.
Kilo. Respira.
Cogete como 40 segundos con el jab, pégalo fuerte.
Respira.
Cogete como 40 segundos con el jab, llaveándole.
Yo necesito que tú dejes la desesperación.
Getting ready for round number 7 of what has been a technical wipeout for Nicklaus Flaz, a young man from Puerto Rico. The song remains the same, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, he's super switched on. From the righty, from the southpaw, it doesn't matter. He's landing everything at will, and he's not getting touched. Although he does have a headbutt cut on his over his eye.
I meant literally, the song he's hearing in his head.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really, whatever he's listening to.
I want to ask him what he's got going on in his head, what the playlist is, because it's been consistent.
Great footwork. Christian Gomez, certainly trying to fight back, mentally trying to win this fight. Despite what must be one-sided CompuBox numbers.
Imagine one-sided judging as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Gomez, he gets credit for the effort. He's trying, but there's no way he's winning these rounds.
As they say, guts will get you so far, then they'll get you hurt. Gomez is staying in it just enough to take a longer beating.
He keeps trying, he keeps throwing, and he throws with intent, so he's not losing enthusiasm, it's just he's confused and outskilled.
But there's less velocity on them now, so it's even easier for Flaz to see him come in, anticipate, get out of the way. But also, Christian Gomez is spending majority of these rounds on the ropes.
Good hook there by Gomez.
And we always talk about how these judges like guys who come forward. If you're back against the ropes for most of the round, it's going to be hard to give you that round.
Talk about the variety of jabs from Nicklaus Flaz. He flicks it, throws it stiff, goes to the body, and that jab has just been constant from both sides.
Yeah, he switches seamlessly, so seamlessly. It's hard to tell which side he's in, and
you forget.
Actually, look at his feet. Gomez is tough, man. He's been taking body shots, head shots, uppercuts, you name it.
Gomez has not been down in this fight.
You see the emphasis on the punches, also the shot speed. You see he throws that big right hand, and also he throws 3 quick ones. You see, like, it's not just the amount of weight he puts on the shots, also the speed of which he throws the punches constantly varies as well. And he's changing angles all the while he's doing it.
I like that slide in after the right hand.
Not to mention, you don't know if he's going to go to the body to the head, too. This is a very, very difficult style to deal with his Nicklaus Flaz.
But a guy like Flaz, which you know what concerns me, does he get bored? Does he get bored doing this if the guy's still there? And then does he stay switched on? Because guys that are this talented, that can happen.
We might find out.
Yeah, we're getting late in this fight.
This guy's still there. You may be there. Gomez doesn't look like he's showing any signs of going away. So he may be there all 10 rounds.
He looks more solid now than he did a few rounds ago, because Gomez. And he's throwing some hard shots. They're missing, but he's still there.
Flaz is not letting up. Volume for days, and gentlemen, you know, when you're winning, you also have a little bit more energy.
Well, when you're leading, when you're ahead, when you're leading the pace, you don't get as tired when you're in control of the pace.
Well, they're fighting a fight that Flaz is deciding. You know whose fight they're fighting. It also helps you out a lot. They're fighting the fight Flaz wants.
Showcase for the young man from Puerto Rico.
I don't think Gomez has a choice.
Round 7 comes to a close. Wow.
How about Flaz's awareness to always be in his corner when the bell rings?
¿Cómo te sientes, campeón? Ok, vamos bien, ¿verdad?
El 8.
Muy bien.
Vamos para el 8 ahora.
Nos quedan 3 rounds. Al ritmo que vamos, él se va a caer con una mano sorpresa. Él no se va a caer con los golpes que estás haciendo porque él los está esperando. Y al esperarlo, él se está preparando. Y su guardia está muy fuerte. Ahora yo necesito que tus ataques no sean predecibles. Ya resta gancho, resta gancho, ¿está bien? Pero me estás entrando con la derecha muy bajito, ¿está bien? Él no te ha dado y él ya no tiene para darte, pero está buscando un jonrón.
Gut is strong. Don't be predictable. Vice is getting from his corner. I haven't seen him do anything predictably other than continuing to throw punches. Moving around very well, giving Gomez a lot of different looks. Will it continue? Round number 8. Here we go. Now, Paulie, from your perspective, is this the point where maybe if you're Flaz, you start going, okay, this guy's going to be here for 10 rounds? you just start kind of like, okay.
But you know what? That's where Chris Champion made a great point. You know, are we going to see Flaz get bored, or do we want to see any susceptibility? I don't see any susceptibility in Flaz, even if this guy's going to go rounds. Right now, Flaz is staying, fully focused. He's honed in on the target. He's honed in on the goal and the task at hand. So that's another thing we can learn about Flaz too. If there's a durable guy, does he go away from his game plan? Nope. So far, so good, and we may find out if Gomez goes his whole 10 rounds.
Being tangled up. Correctly called a slip. Second one of the fight.
There are like scratches and red blotches on Gomez's ribcage from these Flaz sweeping right hooks.
Strafing body shots. It seems like everything on Gomez has been a target in this fight. As he said a few rounds ago,
good shots there.
Gomez is a tough guy who's taken on great opposition, and Flaz has made this an exhibition.
And right off that flow, here you see that flow. Look at how he's got him missing. That shot partially landed, but again, it's not enough to discourage Flaz from continuing to do what he does.
It doesn't stop his rhythm either.
Blows a snot rocket out in between combinations. That is real presence of mind stuff, guys.
Double rear-handed uppercut.
Paulie, to that point, you always hear, to great fighters, everything slows down.
Yeah, they're in the zone.
They're in the zone. Everything's going slowly.
Flow state.
Yeah. Or your opponent's certainly going slowly.
Oh, nice hook there by Flaz. I tell you, man, Flaz is going to be a problem in the welterweight division. There is not anybody that really stands out aside from Jerron Ennis. And from what we're hearing, Jerron Ennis is going to stay too much longer in the welterweight division. So this is an open weight class, and I think Flaz fits in very nicely. Flaz is dangerous to any of these championship level fighters.
Too dangerous? That's something you always tell us, Paul. Like, you don't want to look great. He's looked great tonight.
None of those guys have the option to not fight anyone. You know, they have to fight. You know, there's like as you said, Champ, there's no stars in the weight class.
Well, you will hope the networks and the sanctioning bodies would enforce a guy like this to get into the title picture soon, because I think right now he could probably beat some of these champions in the welterweight division.
He is making it look easy against a veteran Mexican with real power.
Oh, combination again. And Gomez won't go away. Gomez, you got to give him some credit too. I mean, showing tons of character in this fight. This is also not just, okay, say the shots are hurting you or whatnot, and some of them, not all of them are hurting you. Also, you're just being embarrassed and you're discouraged. But he's not getting discouraged. He's still fighting, guys.
That's what I meant about the GSL fight. He's down 3 times, lost every round.
Muy bien. ¿Viste por qué no podemos descuidarnos? Respírame duro.
Que tener esa mano arriba, hasta el último.
No, allá abajo.
Sí, para abajo.
Muy bien. Va a pasar una.
Smiling Nicklaus Flaz. 2 rounds left to go.
Sí, se dio cuenta que te lastimó.
Fire winning like he's winning. I'd be smiling too. Cut around the right eye hasn't been a big deal. You see the swelling around the face of Gomez.
Gomez's whole face looks purple. It looks like it's like just you always say death by 1,000 cuts, death by 1,000 landed punches.
What can the fighter from Mexico do to stem the tide here? Right now, the Nicklaus Flaz from Puerto Rico, whose technique and precision have been on display from round number 1. A little surprised we're at round number 9. But Gomez, man, still wants to throw, still wants to win.
No, he's in there, man. His heart, his character, it's there. His chin, his durability. He came in great shape tonight. There's no question.
He earned his money, man. I mean, you know, you have a responsibility to yourself. You also have a responsibility to the fans to fight hard the whole time, and that's what Gomez has been doing. You know, he's not going to win this fight unless he lands some kind of big home run kind of shot. And he's still trying to throw those, by the way. But he's also, you know, earning his keep by, you know, fulfilling his responsibility to the fans here and still fighting to the end. Flaz, though, again, I can't reiterate, you know, how difficult of a style this is going to be to deal with for anybody in this weight class.
Champ, have you ever seen a 13-2 fighter this good?
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's and so rhythmic. It's like he found that rhythm in his training and in his style, and that's just what he goes with now. You know, it's sometimes you find look at that double hook to the body right there. What an awkward.
So creative. Yep. So creative.
Somewhere Boja Chica is watching this going, man, I am awesome.
Yeah.
I am great.
Another guy who's fought on our air and done quite well.
Chica's, again, he's a one-punch knockout guy. Maybe he just caught Flaz or something, you know, like, it's but of course, you also learn from those fights. Listen, sometimes that's why guys got to stop looking at records. Sometimes you learn from those defeats and you get better. Sometimes it's a part of your career where you've got to get better. I mean, we saw earlier tonight Charles Harris, who has a loss on his record, look terrific as a prospect. So, you know, fans and critics got to start getting over some of the losses on guys' records, because these guys, there's guys that make improvement to their style, and they just really become terrific fighters.
Paulie, as you know, there are only 2 kinds of fighters: untested or bums. That's it. That's it. You lose once, you're a bum. If you haven't lost, you're untested.
Yeah, and that's just not the way that criticism should be of a fighter.
Not the way the world works. Right now, Nicklaus Flaz looking absolutely fantastic.
And I had already been high on him going into tonight, but you know, tonight he's shown me some different gears too. He's got a guy who won't go away.
Exactly.
Gomez has been fighting the whole time, and Gomez is not easy to deal with himself.
Also the best fighter who's ever been in the ring here. I think it's completely outclassed. He has wins over Brian Sabalo and Jahai Tucker, 2 New York prospects. Jahai Tucker keeps winning. And since then, he's been on a tear, winning.
And Flaz has stopped him, right?
No, he beat him decision, a close decision, but
was
brought in as the opponent.
That's a good win, especially when a guy keeps doing well after you beat him. That shows you the quality of the win. And Sabaya, I remember, was a really good amateur in New York as well.
Puerto Rico has a reason to cheer at the end of round number 9. Nicklaus Flaz
And he's back in his own corner, by the way, guys, so he can rest. Again, the round ends and Flaz somehow finds a way to always be in the right corner.
Veteran stuff.
Never has a long walk back to the corner.
As we say, at 13-2, this man looks absolutely outstanding. One more round to go.
Dale, agarre aire porque es el último. ¿Cuántos van a hacer? Cuídese bien. Te va a correr, nomás no te descuides.
No te descuides, métele abajo y
arriba, suéltale, levanta. Luego regresa tus manos arriba.
And some of the action, end of that round, Chris, and once again, devastation.
Yeah, but Flaz was standing his ground, making it a little more entertaining. Got hit with a couple of shots there. It's not been, that round is not like the other rounds where Flaz was completely in control, not getting touched. He did get touched a little bit that round. Is Flaz going to go for it?
That's the question. And my scorecard, yep.
He's having a good time, guys.
Right over the top with a jab.
So needs to be careful, man. Gomez was still throwing heavy shots that last round.
Yeah, Gomez will go for that. I can't see him just not going for it here. He's been trying the whole time. Flaz is enjoying himself in that rhythmic style, but Gomez is going to look for a big shot here.
Haven't been able to give Gomez a single round. It's hard to find 1 minute.
I was going to say.
Strung together, he has won in this fight.
I was going to say, I don't think I can hear a minute in this fight, let alone a whole round.
He's still trying to throw as the Puerto Rican dances in front of him.
Body shot there by Flaz as he steps back out of range. Gomez not able to get off any shots. He finally does there, but Flaz saw that.
There's going to be opportunities here for Gomez, though. Flaz is having a little too much fun here in the last round.
But you see Flaz has the presence of mind to step out of range, though. So, again, to find the opportunity, Gomez has to find that opportunity when Flaz is in range. And that's the thing. Flaz has fun in range, as you can see here, but he also has a presence of mind to step out of range.
He's also not overthrowing his shots, Flaz. He's just picking his punches.
Gomez,
yeah, I don't think he's going for the knockout.
Gomez
going for that big right hand, though, guys.
Constantly throwing big punches, but so far throughout this fight, he's looked like a guy trying to swat flies with a baseball bat. Yeah. And it hasn't quite worked out for him.
No, certainly not. Had a rough night. Been a rough night for Christian Gomez, no question. Not just how many punches he's taken, but also just, as you said, Champ, being embarrassed by not being able to get anything going.
The Flaz is difficult, man. I mean, he's throwing punches. As he's throwing punches, he's switching to southpaw, and the angle changes for you, and he can punch just as fluidly out of the southpaw stance as he kind of out of the right-handed stance. So part of that footwork to change angles. Good right hand there by Gomez.
Flaz stands and throws, yelling.
Let's go.
Paulie, we're getting into hit the one in the middle territory, are we not?
Yeah, but Gomez, he's going for it.
He is.
Big hook there by Flaz. I might have hurt Gomez.
Beautiful left. Gomez is hurt. In the 10th and final round, 30 seconds left, right in front of us.
How about this conditioning from Flaz?
Again,
how is Gomez still in this fight?
Gomez got to stay up, stay lower. He's coming up when he's trying to throw back at Flaz. I get he wants to throw back at Flaz, but he's coming up when he's doing it. He's got to be careful with that. He's worked so hard to go this distance and hung tough the whole time.
Despite all logic, we will see a final bell in this fight. Wow. A walkover for Nicklaus Flaz, who could have danced the entire final round and still won. He went for the kill.
What a
Unbelievable.
Beast. What a beast.
Wow.
That young man can fight.
This was a display, gentlemen.
Wow.
A violent ballet for 10 rounds to whatever Puerto Rican music was playing in the head.
Get this kid in a big fight, guys.
Of Nicklaus Flaz.
This guy should be in a big fight. Yeah. Every time we've seen him, he has been impressive.
He's something else.
He's getting better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Better in every way. I mean, better in terms of his relaxation, in terms of his punching selection, his punch selection, in terms of his conditioning. That 10th round was insane.
But this was the story of the fight, Chris. A technical wipeout from every angle for Nicklaus Flaz.
Yeah, just, I mean, so smooth. Got hit with some big shots, walked through them, kept throwing punches. I mean, just dominant in every way. From skills to will to endurance to power to speed, you name it, this kid did it tonight. I mean, everything on full display. Totally outclassed a very tough fighter in Christian Gomez.
Yeah, and credit to Gomez, too, hanging tough to the end. The 10th round where he needed the KO, it was Flaz who went for the KO, which was impressive on Flaz's part because he could have just sat on his laurels, but also impressive for Gomez to kind of withstand that after losing every round. Have to withstand that, and he still stayed on his feet to go the distance. And it allowed us to see Flaz go all those rounds, like you were asking earlier in the fight champ, where what happens if a guy does resist him? Does he get bored? Well, we got our answer tonight.
Question answered. Gomez is a hard man.
Yep.
Hard man.
Is it the wipeout we all saw? And is the question left to answer, and Jim Sorensen is the man to answer it.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing action, we go to the judges' scorecards. And in this case, all three judges see it the exact same way. The fight is 100-90 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And still the WBA Continental Americas USA champion, Nicklaus "Nico" Flaz.
No surprise at all. One-sided, unanimous decision for Nicklaus Flaz. All smiles for the Puerto Rican. Sky is the limit for this young man. Agree or disagree, Chris?
I mean, really hard to see the judging scorecard any other way, but absolutely this kid is a super talent, and he's going to go very, very far.
Yeah, I need to see this guy in a big fight. If boxing would do the right thing here, this guy should be in a big fight. This guy, he's shown he's levels above this level already. And the ProBox level is a pretty difficult one to get through if you're not at the highest level. And he's blowing guys away here on this network. We need to get this guy in a big fight. And I think he's championship material, especially in a very open weight class.
You heard that. Bonus fight to come. Dylan Moran versus Tyrone McKenna. December 7th, Waterford, Ireland. We loved it so much we're going back. Going to be a great fight. Ireland versus Ireland. Pride on the line in the welterweight division. One more bonus fight to come. If you're on Fubo, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Switch over to ProBox TV, the app, our YouTube channel to watch our bonus fight. It's been a great night of fights from here in Kissimmee, Florida. That man, Nicklaus Flaz, unbelievable performance for him. A wipeout for 10 rounds. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next time on ProBox TV.